What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Happy Saturday to all those that are tuning in. Make sure you guys come in and say hello. Feel free. What's going on, ES Files? Hope all is well. Happy Saturday to you guys. How's it going? You've been waiting for this one all day. Hey, it's been taking me a minute to get some information, but I promise you all, you're gonna be very pleased by the end of this live. Okay. We got some great information, resources, and things that I am going to pull up. Now, Candace Owens, and you guys can see this girl here standing here in this video. She says some not so nice, somewhat nasty things about just the aspect of education. And I just don't understand why when she claims to have 2 degrees. So I said, okay, Candace, she can provide a verification or proof that she has 2 degrees, or I can obtain it. Yeah. Candace, you do realize all I have to do is ask your school to verify or confirm if they issued you a degree. You do realize that, right? So if you understand that, Candace, then hopefully you understand. That's exactly what the hell I did. We still waiting, y'all, but I'm gonna show y'all the proof. That I reached out to the school because she's saying some conflicting things between I don't have them, or she dropped out, or whatever's online that's saying that she doesn't have anything, versus her having 2 videos. And one of them was sent to me. So shout out to you all, to all of you all that are sending me information, emailing me. I don't want to say your real names because I care about you guys and I don't want y'all to be the candy asses will come for you. So it's up to you all whether you all want me to give you kudos, but you know who you are. I've gotten at least 2 emails. One is for a video link where she was on Piers Morgan. And she told this man, well, she didn't say anything to Piers Morgan. What she did was she went back to her podcast, and then that's when she said something about having degrees. After mocking him for having one, he actually has a degree he can verify. Candace, you don't. Nobody can find your education. There's nothing that says she has degrees. It's nothing. So we're going to find out. And then we're going to go over the lawsuit between Kimberly Klasick and Candace Owens. Candace Owens goes to court now like she doesn't know laws and tries to play innocent. And, oh, I didn't say any of those things. I didn't do any of that. Oh, no. Well, that's not what I meant. Yeah, okay. Go on and play that game with the Macrones if you want to, girl. You gonna have all of us reaching out to the court saying she lying like hell, and you need to watch all her podcast videos. You ain't getting away with this one. No, ma'am, you are not, girl. Candace, you're not getting away with this with the Macrones. That nonsense you pulled on Kimberly Klasick. Oh, you're not pulling that on the Macrones. No, because we tired of it. You got many more lawsuits to come, and it's just going to be a testament to you not being able to control yourself and to stop lying on people or lying about things that you don't have to lie about. I mean, who needs to lie about having a degree if you don't have one? That's so weird. So you guys, make sure you hit that like button as you come in and subscribe to the Lady Luck Club. Y'all, we're at 28,778 supporters, and I bless God for it, and I bless God for all of you all for tuning in. You guys can be watching anything else, but you choose to hang out with me this Saturday evening at 8:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. EST, Candace Owens is Eastern Standard Time. So you know that. And I appreciate it. And I thank you all. And it warms my heart to know that there are people out there tuning in, wanting to get some of this fantastic information. And then they can run and tell that, yes, Candace, I emailed the University of Rhode Island. Yep, I sure did. And I'm going to show you all that information in a minute. But let's kick this off with this video she did when she was working for Turning Point USA. Lord have mercy. As she dogged out the concept of having a college degree. It's so baffling to me. It's like, pick and choose. You're either proud of not having a degree and still becoming, filthy rich for lying on people and just basically gossiping on YouTube. Or you have a degree, you can prove that, it can be verified, and then you're proud of that. I don't get it. So her stance on having an education, it just changes up. And it's not a clear stance that she takes on whether she thinks that having a college degree is even valuable or not, which is insane. Either you're proud of it or you're not. So let's get a few more comments in right quick before we check out this video. Shout out to you all. Thank you all so much for tuning in. S-Files, Yuck 2.0. Mr. B, how you doing? Oh, man, yuck me too. Hope all is well. Everybody speak to everybody. I appreciate all of you all. You give me ammo to destroy the candy coat. Makes me feel good. Ammo. Okay, I got you. Yeah, because it can't come with nothing solid or concrete. The only thing they can do is try to dox people and, sit here and talk about, well, you're not as rich as she is. I never said I was. The hell? Yeah, okay. Like it's a bad thing to say I still have a job. Like, no. Listen, even if I had more money and wealth, which would be nice, I'm still going to tell the truth. I'm not going to lie about having a college education if I don't have it. Like, that's the dumbest thing to lie about. Oh, man. Hopefully you guys are doing well. What's going on, Francisca? How you doing? Across the water in the UK. Birds of a feather flock together. You ain't never lied. I'm more of a bee person. Y'all, them communistic bees coming for me, I guess. Gonna sting me in the butt. Yeah, they gonna get me. What's going on, Laura? How you doing? Shout out to my mods, y'all. I have the best mods on YouTube. Shout out to all of you all. Thank you all so much for tuning in. You all get on in here. Everybody speak to everybody. We're gonna get started in a few minutes. I want to just make sure I highlight you guys' comments. Diane said, has the show called The View ever said anything negative about Candace, like they attacked Kim Klacik? You know what? I have no idea. I mean, they attacked her because she filed a defamation lawsuit against Candace Owens. Now, if I have one criticism with that is that I would not have sued her for $20 million, but I would have sued her because Candace has a knack for saying things that are just not true. And the only issue with that lawsuit was that because of the amount, it was from the defense end seen as a slap suit. And then, of course, there's a level of malice intent you have to prove, considering Kimberly Klacik was running for an elected position, which made her a public figure. But guess what? So is Candace. So when Candace goes out, like when she tried to sue USA Today, she failed to state a claim and failed to prove malice intent because she's also a public figure. So when she tries to sue someone for defamation, Candace Owens has to prove malice intent. And she can never do that. Candace, you're not that smart, girl. Oh, I'm here for it. Team Oprah is on point. Oh, man, it's so funny. What's going on, Stolen? How you doing? Everybody's all right. Everybody's up in here, y'all. Listen, it would be a blessing to see at least 100 people up in this live stream. So when you come in here, make sure you hit the like button and engage in the chat. Y'all, let's get to it. We're going to go ahead and start watching this video. And I'm going to cut down this background music because I want you all to hear. We're going to play 3 videos. It's going to be this one first, and then the other 2 is going to be snippets from her shows. And I got the timestamps in it, so we're not going to play the whole thing of her saying that she has 2 degrees. 2 different videos on her podcast. Because I guess her podcast is the place where she lies the most. So let's tune into this. And I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Put a 1 in the chat if you can see and hear. Let's go.
Told you guys this before, and I'm going to tell you again in case you weren't here when I said this at SAS last year. Right now in this country, this is a fact, we have never handed out more degrees ever in the history of this country, right? And yet we have never produced kids coming out of university that are so dumb. The IQ level is dropping.
Yeah,
oh
my God.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh, no.
If people are getting dumber, how is it plausible that we are handing out more degrees? Well, because that is by design. The idea is to make a bunch of people that are actually really stupid. Really stupid. I mean, how stupid do you have to be to spend $100,000 on a degree in gender studies? I mean, wow.
Oh, no. How stupid do you have to be to spend $100,000, or was it $150,000? I mean, Candace, you lie so much. You can never just pinpoint one number about how much in student loans you obtained for a degree in English, a language you have still yet to master, or in journalism. Then you drop out. And then all the money you claim you spent for 3 years in school was a moot point. It was null and void. And then you still had to pay the loans back. How stupid do you have to be to drop out in your 3rd year as opposed to just finishing up the damn degree? You already had $100,000 in debt based on your dumb math that makes no sense. Yeah, okay. We can talk about stupid all day, girl.
4 years studying something that I learned the first day in kindergarten. That's the boys' bathroom. That's the girls' bathroom. Okay, thanks. Thanks.
Your condescending nonsense is only going to get you so
far.
But
imagine that adult, that young adult who went to school for 4 years to be confused about basic facts, who spent plausibly hundreds of thousands of dollars for that meaningless degree, who then goes out into the world and realizes.
What do you categorize as basic facts, Candace? Because I thought it was a basic fact that UTC stands for Coordinated Universal Time. That was a basic fact to me. I thought a basic fact would be, if you're going to go out here and say someone is born with a penis and they were a totally different gender, that you would need scientific evidence. You would need DNA. That's a basic fact to me. So it seems like some basic facts you have proven, like the definition of the word nationalism or globalism, Candace. Those are basic facts to me. I learned those in elementary school. How the hell did you not learn that UTC has nothing to do with Utah Town? She said it's a basic fact, right? If we're going on her logic, UTC is a basic fact that you should have learned in elementary school. Coordinated Universal Time. Okay? I don't get it. So many basic facts that have gone over Candace Owens' head in many, many years. I'm sorry, Candace. What's the definition of nationalism? Because that was a simple question was asked to you in the UK, where you made a fool of yourself to everyone in that room, including your soon-to-be husband. This is why he's not stunning you. He just let her do her podcast and leaves her alone for most of the day while he's with the kids. You just kind of figure, whatever personality comes upstairs, I guess that's the one I'm going to have to deal with.
That nobody wants to hire them because who the heck needs a gender studies major for anything? When's the last time you looked at your phone and said, oh crap, I need a gender studies major? It's going to be a tornado out there. We better make sure the gender studies majors
can't make this up.
Oh my gosh, my AC broke. Where are the gender studies? Nobody ever in the history of the world has needed a gender studies major. No one.
Oh, dear Lord.
No, it's common sense. That's not a real degree. The only thing you can do with that degree is probably go right back into the education system that taught you that lie, right? You can become a professor in gender studies. Something stupid like that. And so when those people get into the world and they realize that nobody wants them, that this is not a career path, that actually the free markets spits them back out, they become angry and they become bitter and they don't know who to train that bitterness on. Who can I be angry at? I did everything right. I listened to my professors. I got A's. I have a degree.
So that means that your professors are to blame for you going to school for what? Journalism, English, and still dropping out at your 3rd year when you are almost done. Yeah. No, I'm not going to blame your professors for that. Candace, you were stupid before you got there. Girl. Let's give a shout out. Oh, yuck. 2.0. Oh my God. Yeah, when I'm on the video page and I'm not in StreamYard. I can't see the comments. Oh my God, y'all. Yuck 2.0 just became a member. Shout out to you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Yes, Francisca. She is literally looking down on people who went to college in this video, which is going to be a great contrast between the other two that I'm going to show, because you just can't make this stuff up. Oh man. Well, yeah, thank you so much, Yuck. Oh my God. Not everyone studies gender studies. Exactly. I majored in biology pre-med. I studied human anatomy and science and biology and chemistry, botany. I mean, we had to study botany. Like, this is the thing Candace doesn't understand. There are other majors in school. And what was the English studies for again? Exactly. I don't know. For her to, I guess for her to marry George, because she certainly doesn't make good use of the English language in anything else. I mean, when she can't define the words nationalism or globalism, it's so crazy. Shout out to you, yeah, 2.0 gifted 10 Lady Luck Club memberships. Oh my dear Lord. Listen, our memberships just got stacked, y'all. And then I have 10 free each month that I get from YouTube that allows me to gift them out, which I am going to do. You can't make this up. Thank you so much, Yuck 2.0, for the 10 memberships. You guys, congratulations to those who got them. Enjoy them. And yes, we're going to have a members only live tomorrow. Absolutely. We're even going to do some Spanish. But I just want to thank you so much for that. I just had to stop and pause and let you know I appreciate that support. Thank you so much. And welcome to the Lady Luck Club membership. Okay, we're gonna have some fun. All right, let's get back to it, you all. Shout out to Yuck 2.0. Y'all make sure y'all leave some hearts in the chat for Yuck 2.0, leaving us these fantastic memberships. Thank you so much. That's a blessing. It's really a blessing.
Right? This pompous attitude, it means nothing. What can you produce? What can you provide in this world? I don't care. I actually would prefer it if you went to a trade school, right? Learn to work with your hands.
Wow. Something she didn't do.
And who do they blame? Well, they blame successful people, not the government, not the university system. No, the university system is the only place they can go. And so they become angry at people who found success. They become angry at those people who didn't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in school, but can in fact fix an AC in the middle of the summer. People that work with cars, people that work with their hands. They think, how can this idiot be making more money than me? Oh, because the free markets respond to that person that you think is an idiot. Because let me tell you something. Have you ever had your AC break in the summertime in Tennessee? You're paying any amount, buddy. I don't care what he's charging. Great, $10,000? Okay, we'll find it somewhere, right? Because we actually need these individuals in our society.
Yeah, and this is coming from the girl who created black mold in an apartment she lived in for 6 months and didn't pay rent because reasons. And let me be clear on what this rent amount was. It was over $3,500 a month. And she went 6 months without paying rent. Never mind the hardworking people at that apartment complex community that were taking care of the apartment communities, the groundskeepers, the, office personnel, the maintenance men, while she's sitting here turning on the AC and then leaving the windows and doors open, creating that condensation. They were able to notate that in the lawsuit that she filed against the apartment complex because yeast infections. And then she lost. She was so bad at that case, she failed to show up for a Zoom hearing. It was on Zoom. And because she didn't even show up, the apartment complex was able to have their counterclaim granted to them in a default judgment. She walked away having to pay them $19,000 plus dollars. Candace. It was about $19,000 total. Yeah. Tell me where I'm lying, Candace Owens. Because I got the court documents. Please tell me I'm lying. Because I went over that in a whole video. You see, this is part of getting when you're researching someone, you get to know them through these, lawsuits in these court documents, right? Because that's where they're supposed to be allegedly the most honest and the most transparent. But Candace Owens doesn't do well under pressure, and she certainly doesn't have the ability to be honest with the court. which a deposition of her would be very interesting to see. But this is the woman who sued an apartment complex because she didn't pay rent for 6 months and wanted to live with mold on her own accord. And then lost. Yeah, okay, girl.
And so the only thing left for those people to do, because they're so angry, is to march against life, right? Pick any cause and they march against it, right? They're basically letting you know that they have failed in life. And so they march against people that are too normal. They march against people that look happy, because misery loves company. And I'm telling you, do not give it to them. Do not give them that company.
You can't make this up. She said misery loves company. Candace, you sound like you've been miserable for like 15 years. It's like she's been miserable since high school. I don't even understand. So this is the second video. What she did on her channel, episode 4, where she went on Piers Morgan and he basically clowned her behind out. And I put in the timestamp here. Yeah, we're gonna go back to this timestamp here. As a matter of fact, we're gonna go back to where he brought this up about, her not being able to read the lawsuit properly because he studied journalism, she didn't. So it's an art craft to presenting this information. I have to agree with Piers on that. It's an art craft. I think it takes a person to, have this balance between just common sense, being able to relate and relay information to the average person, and still have this level of intelligence where, you can be able to break that information down. So whether you have to research it or whether you've learned the information and studied it before, it's a delicate balance between that. Candace Owens doesn't do that. She gossips. But it's from watching, at least 40 episodes she's had about just one topic. Candace Owens does not give factual information. She doesn't come across like she's someone that's very well learned in a myriad of topics. Just the fact that she can't define nationalism for me was enough. But then turn around and prove that she knows nothing about airplanes because she doesn't understand how the black boxes in airplanes work or what UTC stands for. So these things that to me are very basic. And even if you don't know it, you research it. You take time to research it in Google. But you're talking about something complex as, lawsuits and court documents. That just takes a level of understanding, and it takes a lot of research and reading to understand the lingo, the legalese, to be able to translate it to the average person so that you can, relay what it's about without it being overly complicated. And that's what Piers Morgan was trying to tell her, And he said, I went to school for this. I learned how to do this in school. That's a part of my education. And she's just sitting there being mad about it, as opposed to saying, you know what, you're right. I mean, I do understand it. No, she throws a little tantrum like a child. So we're going to check this out, and then we're going to laugh at it. And then we're going to get to the other video where she lied again about having 2 degrees.
You're pretending that I'm the one that promulgated this. In fact, it was 3 journalists in France that worked on the story for 3 years, right. And they teamed up with genealogists and they came across, and it was absolutely fascinating. I read the entire report, and everybody watching this, rather than listen to Piers Morgan giving you a bunch of adjectives, ridiculous. It's awful. I can't believe that she's saying this. Why don't you go pursue a primary source? Why don't you go find the articles that were written by the French journalists? Because this did not come from me. This came from French journalists. And while they were working, let me finish the statement, Piers. While they were working on this piece, the Macrons sent their secret service to interrupt this. This is not a normal thing that you do when somebody's about to publish a lie. You would just say it's ridiculous, publish it, and we'll dispute it. They sent the secret service to intimidate these journalists. They took their phones, they held them, they wanted to know everyone who was working on the piece, and what they uncovered was absolutely fascinating. What they uncovered was the fact that Brigitte Macron, who alleges that the person that they are saying is her is actually her brother, who's never been seen and who they never produced, that Brigitte Macron was this man for 30 years and then transitioned at the age of 30. So he's trying to tell you this is crazy, this is wacky. Why don't you just go pursue a primary source? I'm not the primary source. It would be very easy to dispute this. All Brigitte Macron would have to do is produce a single photo of her in the first 30 years of her life.
Oh, okay. When she did that, Candace Owens said, nope, not good enough. How about I have my doctor come fly out, take a little blood. We'll take care of this real quick. No. See, here's the thing, Candace. No one owes you a damn thing, girl. Oh, no. No one owes you that. But yet, his whole point is, you're not first-hand source as far as this information. Because you're not. You didn't do any research to try to actually prove whether or not, Brigitte Macron was born a man or had a sex change. And then you say that the brother wasn't produced. They show photos of the brother alive and well in the same space with Brigitte Macron at the same time at events. So it baffles me. Like, if you really want to know if this man's alive, why not just do an interview with him? Why not offer to do an interview with him separately? But she didn't do that. So, I mean, you can imagine like that Piers is having to sit here and listen to this heifer try to degrade him and his education. It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
Go on a little walk with her brother, who she alleges that she is not.
Show me the proof Donald Trump isn't transgender.
There's tons of photos of Joe Biden.
I think Donald Trump was born a woman. Show me the proof.
Okay, there are tons of photos of Trump 20 years ago on Oprah. What are you saying?
And as a mother,
it's 30
yourself.
years of living. Just show a photo of yourself. We don't need to be debating it. Just show a photo of yourself.
And as a mother yourself, you have no qualms about the hurt that you're causing her kids with this kind of claptrap.
Not at all.
I mean, please stop with the sensitivity. You've decided that you want to.
Wow. Please stop the sensitivity. Candace, you are a soulless demon from hell, and I want you to know that.
Okay, there are tons of photos of Trump 20 years ago on Oprah. What are you saying?
And as a mother,
it's 30
yourself.
years of living. Just show a photo of yourself.
And as a mother yourself, you have no qualms about the hurt that you're causing her kids with this kind of claptrap.
None.
I mean, please stop with the sensitivity. You've decided that you want to lead a country, okay? Honesty is demanded. More journalists should be prodding into the story internationally to see what's actually going on here, because at best, you have a perverted story that, in my view, leads way too closely into pedophilia. Just a story of how they got together is weird. You have a allegedly gay man, the person who's had gay affairs with him has spoken out, talked about the drugs that he has done with Macron, and you have these two people who are utterly demented leading the state of France. That, my friends, is how you stand on business, okay? You're not going to gaslight the public.
Where's the evidence to prove that Brigitte Macron was born a man or had a sex change, Candace? Where's the scientific evidence that you need, Heffa, because you asked for the blood of the First Lady? You did. On your show. I have my doctor come fly out, take a lot of blood. We'll be done with that real quick. Like a robot. You have no soul. Y'all looking behind these eyes. I promise y'all, these freeze frames are epic. Lord, we thank you, because I just hit pause. And it's just always the right freeze frame. Look behind these eyes. It looks black. You don't even see like the white area of the eyeball. Just blackness. This is scary. Candace, you are very soulless. You are soulless.
I saw this clip actually, and I can't find it on the internet, but it was just the Tate brothers, and they were talking about how wrong all of the experts and all the scientists were on COVID. So how is it possible that so many people from the wrong side of the tracks, the Tate brothers, Candace Owens, got it right on COVID, not the experts? And what they implied is just all you have to do is live a little, right? A little bit of street smarts goes a very long.
Yeah, never mind science and, research and biology and chemistry that goes into this stuff. Never mind that.
Way, all these people and their degrees. Do they have street smarts? Have you lived a little? Is it a normal thing if somebody is working on a story alleging that you lived as a man for 3 years? If someone right now called and said, the Daily Mail is working on an article that you lived as a man, Candace, for 30 years. Do you think I'm going to call the police and the FBI to get involved in the story? Using the arm of the French Secret Service to go intimidate the journalists, to hold them in a cell, take their phones, ask who else is working on the story. That does not make me think that you are innocent. That's nonsense. I would be like, publish this.
No, but you haven't produced any scientific evidence either. Because even if you have street smarts, everyone knows you need blood. You need DNA to determine whether or not someone's genetically born a man or a woman. That's genetic. That's not a matter of your opinion. That's based on science, Candace. Something that you obviously failed. Because you damn sure didn't go to college for it. And according to you, you didn't finish. And I'm still waiting on the verification of the 2 degrees you thought you got in another lifetime, maybe. Maybe it's in a different reality, some alternate reality where you've lost your mind. where you think you have 2 degrees.
Story, so I can debunk it, because you just don't go 30 years without having your photo taken. You just don't go 30 years plus saying that you've had 3 kids without having your photo taken. It doesn't work that way. Okay, I'd say, here you go.
They sent wedding photos of her getting married. They also sent photos. They sent the birth announcement. They've sent several photos. She doesn't have to give her every single picture of her life. No one owes her that. And the expectation of that is so unrealistic. It's appalling. It's appalling to think that Candace is supposed to know what photo the First Lady of France took for 30 years of her entire life, just so she can sit here and say, oh, okay, I guess I'm convinced. Yeah, okay, now keep that energy up here for when you go to court. Keep that energy up. Why did you and your attorneys file a motion to dismiss? Why did you do that? Because I thought you wanted to have subpoena power and to be able to go in and get to the discovery phase. Why even file a motion that could even be indicative of you trying to dismiss it? Candace is a clown.
Here's my high school yearbook, my middle school yearbook. Here's me as a baby. Here's me with my family. Here is a litany of photos that you can look through to establish the fact that the person who published this article is an absolute kook. But they aren't doing that. What they're doing is they're getting the media journalists to say, oh, it's so crazy. I remember Barry Weiss actually tweeted from the New York Times and pretending to be independent. So crazy that she said this about Brigitte. Stop using adjectives to describe people who have common sense. Okay? Present the proof.
Oh, no. Present proof? Oh, okay. Is that, I mean, you should learn not to challenge the Lady Luck Club. Yeah. Don't ever challenge us, girl. Because we want you to present proof. As a matter of fact, I dare you to present proof that Brigitte Macron was born a man when your ass goes to that motion to dismiss hearing. Yeah. Because you're going to have a court hearing for that. I wish you would present evidence, scientific evidence, to prove that Brigitte Macron was born a man. Please present it. That way we can all see it. And then whatever goes to the court records will be made available to the public. Please let that happen, girl. We're daring you. We would love to see that. Where are those 2 degrees again? Okay.
Should just say, Brigitte, one photo. And when they actually presented one photo, ended up being Brigitte's daughter, Tafon. Okay, there is a story there. The French people have been trying to get it out for years. And the fact that they are using the court systems to intimidate journalists is not a good thing. So, like I said, when they use these sorts of tactics, you have to stand up to them. And of course, this brings me to the last moment, which I just love so much, is lies. When they've really got nothing left, they always do this appeal to authority. And Piers Morgan wanted to remind me that he has degrees in journalism. He is a reporter, a real reporter. And who am I? Take a listen.
Here's the difference between me and you. I've actually been a reporter for many, many years. You never have. When you say you report on these things, I can tell you no journalist who's an actual reporter would read a legal filing and then do a tweet which states as fact in their own words, he's not in jail because he's a Fed CIA asset. Can he try to avoid? That's not reporting on a lawsuit. That is stating your own personal opinion. And if you don't know the difference...
There's a difference. Thank you, Piers. Oh, my God. That's not reporting on the lawsuit, Candace. You're bad at this. Candace Owens, farmer, is bad at journalism. She's bad at it. If for nothing, all she is a gossip columnist. That's it. You got a podcast where you gossip, run your mouth. You sit here, you weaponize the death of Charlie Kirk for 12 weeks straight. You blamed everyone for being involved or having some involvement, including, and I do have the post of the young man that wore a green hoodie, and all of a sudden he's a target now. And it's like, this is what gossipers do. But people who pursue the truth, facts, and evidence are not afraid to abide by a law. We don't believe we're above the rule of law. We have respect for it. We understand what's in the lawsuits, what's in the court documents, or what they are. We don't add our opinions to it. I have to read these lawsuits and share this information or report on it with an impartial tone. I can't pick one side or the other. I can give my opinion on my thoughts of certain aspects of it, but not to where it's saying this is how it's going to end up because this is what I think. No. I've done nothing but challenge Candace Owens to present evidence to prove Brigitte Macron was born a man. Because that's what you need for the court case. You need that for court. You need evidence. They don't care about your opinion in court. They care about the facts, the evidence, and the law. It's a finding of fact, law, and evidence. That's it. The judge is not going to care about her opinion. Not even a little bit. You can say whatever you want to say, Candace Owens. Because at the end of the day, you still cannot tell those 5 million candy asses over there that you filed the motion to dismiss. You can't even tell them that. And if you were a true journalist, you would have reported everything that's going on with the case. Not just what you think and feel about it. You will report the facts. You would pull up the court docket. You would show people what's going on with the case. That's how true journalists report information. Go ahead, Pierce.
Because you're not a reporter. I am.
Well, now we've arrived at your professionality. I guess, Pierce, tell me more. What school did you go to? Tell me more.
I went to Harlow Journalism College in Essex, in England.
Well, then we better listen to you guys. You heard them. We got to trust the experts. And Piers has been a reporter, and he went to a journalistic law school. And therefore, whatever conclusions he makes are the professional and the correct ones. And you should definitely.
Yes, it is. Because that's how degrees work. That is what happens when you get an education, Candace. You clown. That's exactly how it works. And the court will consider him to be an expert witness as well. You know why? Because he has those degrees. So this is the thing. When you don't understand how journalism works, you don't understand certain matters. You know, let's say he went to court and testified. They will consider him an expert witness based on his expertise in that field because he has the education and the degree to show that he has an expert knowledge of it. Because that's how it works, Candace. You're a clown, girl.
Definitely listen to Piers Morgan.
I do know the difference between reporting on a lawsuit where you're one removed from the contents of the lawsuit and stating something as fact. But I don't think you do because you've never actually been a reporter. That's my point.
Ooh.
And we said it again. Say it again.
And you should definitely listen to Piers Morgan.
I do know the difference between reporting on a lawsuit where you're one removed from the contents of the lawsuit and stating something as fact. But I don't think you do because you've never actually been a reporter. That's my point.
Ooh, burn. You got me. You go, girlfriend. Girlfriend did get me. I'm going to start talking to you guys like that. You're not a reporter. Yes.
Girl. Well, why's it got to be girlfriend? He said exactly what I just said. What's the difference in reporting the facts? You talk about a lawsuit, which is something you haven't done because you're not a reporter. It is a fact that you're not a reporter, Candace. That's a fact. You don't even consider yourself to be one. She considers herself to be an investigative journalist, and that's still laughable. But you don't consider yourself to be a reporter.
Has been a reporter, and he went to a journalistic law school, and therefore, whatever conclusions he makes are the professional and the correct ones. And you should definitely listen to Piers Morgan.
I do know the difference between reporting on a lawsuit where you're one removed from the contents of the lawsuit and stating something as fact. But I don't think you do because you've never actually been a reporter. That's my point.
Ooh, burn. You got me. You go, girlfriend. Girlfriend did get me. I'm going to start talking to you guys like that. You're not a reporter. Yes, you're not a reporter watching this show. You're not a reporter. But do you know about anything? You're not a reporter. Have you lived? Doesn't matter. I'm a reporter. I know things. I know how to read the lawsuits and what to do with them. And this, my friends, is why the mainstream media has fallen apart. Constantly speaking down to people, making assumptions about people.
Wait a minute. Didn't we just see the video of her speaking down to people who went to school to become a gender studies major? Yeah, see, Candace, you understand. This is why I'm the queen of this, girl. Because I played that video first for a reason. It highlights your hypocrisy. Now you want to sit here and get mad because he actually does have a degree. He actually went to an accredited school and he finished school. He graduated. And now you want to say he's looking down on you when you were looking down on those who went to college to study gender studies. You have no idea how just it's so funny to hear you say this after you got through looking down at an event, ironically, for Turning Point USA, at a bunch of kids who went to school. At least they got their degrees. Where's yours?
talking about, I went to Harlow College and I've got a degree in journalism. Yeah, Piers. Well, as a reporter, you should know that you probably shouldn't get all of your information from Wikipedia. I didn't take the bait. I didn't respond to him. But the facts of the matter are, I too also have a degree in journalism. In fact, I have more degrees than Piers Morgan does. I have a bachelor's degree in journalism and in English, and he just has one in journalism. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, which is why I didn't say it. But it is funny. He's a reporter. Lastly, and I think this really, I've got a degree in journalism. Yeah, Piers. Well, as a reporter, you should know that you probably shouldn't get all of your information from Wikipedia. I didn't take the bait. I didn't respond to him. But the facts of the matter are, I too also have a degree in journalism. In fact, I have more degrees.
Okay, so what's the bait? There was no bait in that. And no one has to go to Wikipedia to get anything. I'm going to prove that. It's irrelevant. Whether you went to Wikipedia or went, wherever you went to get information, all of the information on the internet says you dropped out of college in your junior year because of student loans. So here she's saying, and this video is dated. This is a year ago, people. This is a year ago, where she said that she had 2 degrees. This is the first time she said this, but she never says what schools she attended to get these 2 degrees, what year she graduated. None of that. She gives no information for people to try to verify that. So let's go back just a tidbit so you all can pick up on how this is the first of 2 videos I'm going to show where she says she has 2 degrees and gives no further information.
Yeah, Piers. Well, as a reporter, you should know that you probably shouldn't get all of your information from Wikipedia. I didn't take the bait. I didn't respond to him. But the facts of the matter are, I too also have a degree in journalism. In fact, I have more degrees than Piers Morgan does. I have a bachelor's degree in journalism and in English, and he just has one in journalism. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, which is why I didn't say it.
So you got 2 college degrees? Who does that? Who gets 2 college degrees? You go to college to get a bachelor's degree. Then you go back to college to get a degree in English, as opposed to majoring in one and minoring in the other. And you can get that done in 1 degree. What school was this from, Candace Owens? You got more degrees than he does. What's the name of the school you got these 2 degrees from? See, Candace Owens, when you put this stuff out here, people do look and follow up. You're talking about information from Wikipedia. Name the schools in the year you graduated, girl.
Media. I didn't take the bait. I didn't respond to him. But the facts of the matter are, I too also have a degree in journalism. In fact, I have more degrees than Piers Morgan does. I have a bachelor's degree in journalism and in English, and he just has one in journalism. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, which is why.
No, it does. Because you're saying you have these degrees and you're looking down on college kids who went to college and they got a degree in gender studies. And now you're trying to compare yourself to him, who actually is trained and educated and being able to report on lawsuits and court documents, something that you don't understand because you didn't go to school for that. He said it, he studied investigative reporting and journalism and took law courses and being able to understand these lawsuits. He took legal courses for that. You're trying to belittle it. So let's go to the second video. That was the first one.
$50,000 in student loans.
Okay. This is the second one. This one was just 5 days ago. All right. And y'all, of course, I always, it's timestamp it.
Federal rights. Love you, Candace. Please.
So this is the second one where she says again, she has 2 degrees and still failed to give the name of the school, the years that she received those degrees, and any evidence to show it. Wouldn't she have those degrees hanging on the back of the wall back there? If she had degrees, people who have those degrees like that, especially if you're, you consider yourself a journalist and all this other stuff, wouldn't you just have the degree hanging on the back of the wall? I would. Wouldn't you all hang your degree on the back of the wall? That's so crazy to me. You got a degree in journalism and she didn't hang the degree on the back of the wall. And here she is with her own podcast. You can't make this up. And she's trying to compare herself exactly just to look better. You can't make this up. I would put mine on the back of the wall. My godmother just retired from being a magistrate federal judge, right? So a lot of the legalese and things that I understand, I can't just text and ask the questions. I also research information, but she has a Juris Doctorate degree. And she hung it up on the back of the wall in her office, in her chambers. When she was a judge, she had her own chambers and she hung up her degrees in her chambers. Why would you not hang up your bachelor's degree in journalism behind you? Why wouldn't you do that? I mean, it would be back there by that bookcase back there, just loud and proud. Make that make sense? So here's the second video where she lies like hell. Let me get up the captions. Oh man, because it's the only way we can. I can't take her seriously when she says things, and it's almost so hard to believe until you read it in the caption. All right, let's go.
People claim you don't have a degree, but I've heard you say you do. Please set the record straight. Yeah. The truth is that I grew up poor. I was the third of a family with 4 children. And mom didn't even graduate high school, actually. And my family didn't have the money to send me to college. So I took out a ton of loans, student loans, Sallie Mae loans. And then don't quote me on the year, but I think it was 2010, Sallie Mae had a big collapse. And they said, you can't go back for your senior year because we can no longer fund you to go back for your senior year. So I dropped out temporarily. And
okay, so the information that I have is that she was in school in 2007. Okay. So I think one of you all did verify the year that Sallie Mae collapsed. So can you all, and one of you confirmed the year Sallie Mae collapsed. Can you post it in the chat? Because it's not lining up with, she said 2010. Wasn't that 2008? Candace was in college in 2007. So I'm just confused. The timeline she gives is always wonky. And just pay attention. Listen out for the school and the year she graduated with these alleged 2 degrees.
Then when I had my own money and paid off my student loans, which was something like $150,000 in student loans, which is absurd to me. Such a predatory system. You're literally preying on poor people. Disgusting. Okay. That's what usury is all about. Once I paid down my student loans, I re-enrolled to finish my last year. And so I have 2 degrees, actually.
What year? What year was this? She said once she paid her loans off, then she went back to school. But what was the name of the school? You re-enrolled. Now, naturally, if you go to a school, you drop out of it, and you say you re-enrolled, and you don't say a new name of the school, people are going to naturally assume that you're talking about the school that you dropped out of, right? So if it was the University of Rhode Island, and you're saying you re-enrolled once you paid off your student loans, which was years later, by the way. That's why this timeline is so skewed. It was years later. Then wouldn't we naturally assume that you re-enrolled in the University of Rhode Island? But if it was after you paid those student loans off, and she claimed that it took her 4.25 years, and I'm going to pull up an article in a second where there's a journalist that goes through this on his Substack, and they go through every time she mentioned the education, the loans, and everything. We're going to see that next. But wouldn't you think you would just say, I went back in 2012 and finished it up in 2014, and I got a bachelor's majoring in journalism, minor in English. Like, how do you get 2 degrees like that from the same school at the same time? Who gets 2 bachelor's degrees from the University of Rhode Island? Is that possible? It was 2008. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Jen, how you doing, honey? Thank you so much. Satiric. Okay, cool. 2008. Thank you so much. Because she said she was in school in 2007. She lied. So she's saying 2010. So 2008 was the collapse. Significant changes 2007 to 2008. Exactly. So it's 1 degree, not 2. Thank you. So wouldn't you get one? You can only get 1 bachelor's degree, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. If you can get 2 bachelor's degree at the same time, let me know from the University of Rhode Island, because I didn't know that you could do that. I did not know you can, even if you re-enrolled and went back to the school. I had no idea you can get 2 different bachelor's degrees at the same time. I had no idea that was possible. Now, naturally, you can get a bachelor's degree where you major in one topic and minor in another. She said she came out with 2 degrees. Y'all see this? I just want you all to see that at the bottom. And so I have 2 degrees. That's what she said. Sally Mae collapsed, and it was split from Navient. Can you can double major, but can you get 2 bachelor's degrees? What school? What graduate year? Exactly. She never says. She never says the year. She never says the school. She never says the year. A double major still results in 1 degree. Thank you. I was like, what do you mean? You got 2 bachelor's degrees. She says she has 2 degrees. Y'all see this? She doesn't say I have 1 degree and I majored in journalism, minored in English, or I had a double major. She didn't say that. She said I have 2 different degrees. You can't make this up. You can't.
What else do we have here? TB writes, it's important to be enrolled to finish my last year. And so I have 2 degrees, actually. What else do we have here?
You can't make this up. So let's go to this Substack, this blog, right? And I'm gonna say who it is. This is let's go up to the top. This is written by Stephen Abano back on March 10th, 2024. This is on his Substack. Shout out to all those who have. I see you in the chat, Albert Lanier. Shout out to you. Albert Lanier also is on Substack. So I don't know if I can get one of my mods to drop Albert Lanier's YouTube channel link in the chat. Fantastic content creator. And he has a Substack writer, Albert Lanier. So you guys make sure you go out and check him out and support him. But this article here. So it lying about the past. Candace Owens lies about her past to spread her anti-college agenda. Now, we saw the video in the beginning, did we not, about her dogging out people who have college degrees, saying basically at the end, you'd be better off getting a trade or skill, and then had a free book she was giving out about college being a scam. So this is the same person who, when she worked for Turning Point USA, was talking about, oh, you don't need college degrees. Oh, it's such a scam. Predatory loans and things of that nature. And blah, blah, blah. And it goes back on Piers Morgan and then to her show. And sits here and talks about having 2 degrees, one a bachelor's degree in journalism and then a bachelor's degree in English. And then says it again 5 days ago. So the first time she said it was a year ago. And yet never says what's the name of the school or what year she got these so-called 2 bachelor's degrees. And the way she talks is she re-enrolled and got both degrees at the same time. How the hell is that possible again? Candace, why do you lie about dumb things? I don't understand that. That's a dumb lie to tell. Why tell that lie? She must have 2 BSs. Okay, so what's going on? French says, so she must have meant that she was a dual major. No, she said twice. On 2 separate occasions, she has 2 degrees. She said it on 2 separate occasions. Because that's what we were asking about. You can't get 2 bachelor's degrees at the same time. So is it a dual major or a double major? She never says that. She never said, I have 1 degree with a double major. She says, I have 2 degrees. And the first time she said it last year, she said, I have a degree in a bachelor's in journalism and a bachelor's in English. That's what she said. So I have 2 degrees. Because the only other person I've ever heard count a dual major or double major as 2 separate degrees is Umar Johnson. And we all know he's a scamming, lying con artist and an idiot. Umar Johnson walks around talking about he has 6 degrees. But yet he doesn't say that he has a major or a minor and that he's counting these separate major studies as a separate degree. No one needs to do that. I have a bachelor's of science degree in biology pre-med. I don't have 2 degrees, one in biology and the other in pre-med. No, that's my study. I majored in biology, minored in pre-medicine. It's that simple. But it's all 1 degree. She said she's had 2. It's so crazy. The minute she showed up, I've been demanding it. Y'all know she's not going to do it. So I took the liberty, and I'm going to show you all what I sent over to the University of Rhode Island. Because if she's not going to do it, then I'm going to get whatever information I can without invading her privacy. Charlie had no degrees. See, and that's the thing. No one is saying that you have to have a degree to be successful, right? That is never anything I'm ever going to say. I want people to have higher education, but I would rather Candace at this point understand the definition of the word nationalism or UTC, or that all planes have a black box, than for her to be running around here lying about 2 degrees that she can't prove. And then won't say the name of the school and the years that she completed these degrees. This is so crazy. So here's this Substack here. We're going to go through this right quick. Then I'm going to show you all the emails that I sent to the University of Rhode Island. I damn sure did, Candace. You can kiss my ass. All right. This was written back on March 10th of last year. Why this matters. Candace Owens constantly brings up her past experience with college and uses it as a springboard to advise others to skip college entirely, oftentimes in favor of trade school or some other nonsense, which we heard in the video where she was working with Turning Point USA, saying, hey, go pick up a trade, and then giving out a free book saying that's entitled College Scam. Because she has to pay student loans back. It's so crazy. If she's going to use her personal experience as an authoritative reference to discourage others from college, then 2 important things must be true about her experience. It must be reasonably representative of the average person's experience. It must be true. Yeah, you would think, but she's not proving anything at all. Just like with the Macrons, she doesn't prove that the woman was born a man. She just keeps putting her opinion out there and call it a truth and facts. That's not how it works. So now she doesn't understand the definition of the word truth, fact, evidence, law, nationalism, globalism, or UTC. If her experience was exceptional, then it wouldn't make sense to caution others because of it, as the circumstances regarding her education would be avoidable or non-applicable to the average person. If her experience was a lie, then it's misleading to cite it as a realistic example of what could go wrong. It is misleading to be a public figure and to say you have 2 degrees and you don't. And then one must ask, why is Candace Owens lying about having 2 degrees? Why lie? Don't even say you have the degrees. Who cares? If you don't think that getting a college education is important, or it didn't help you to be the gossip columnist that you are today with your own podcast of 5.5 million people that you are lying to and misleading with this, then don't even say you have the degrees. Just say, hey, I dropped out and look how successful I am with being the gossiper that I am. And all of you all are giving me your money and I have a coat. Why not be proud of having that coat you got, Candace? Because that's all you got, girl. But be proud of this coat you've gathered up. You got 5.5 million candy asses out here that worship the ground you walk on. Do you need a college degree for that? No, you don't. So why lie about it? It's a stupid lie. And it's one that I can just go out and verify. I mean, you're not being smart about it. All right, so Candace Owens presents an irreconcilable pattern of facts pertaining to her family and school of history. History here, she's either misrepresenting crucial facts about her experience, or she took an unbelievably foolish path through the college system that no one else should reasonably be advised nor expected to follow. Exactly. Consequently, she or her family should assume responsibility for her mistakes and stop blaming the system for her experience with higher education. Exactly. So let's get to it. A confusing fact pattern. Candace claims she grew up in Stamford, Connecticut. The median household income appeared to be around 80 to 90K in the time, or average 74K for individuals. Candace claims to have grown up in low-income housing in this city, though she doesn't specify for how many years she lived in said housing. Owens said that her early years, many of them spent in low-income housing in Stamford, Connecticut, were dysfunctional. Her family moved in with her grandparents when she was 9, and her grandfather, Robert, became a powerful influence in Owens' life. The Gospel of Candace Owens, the New Yorker. So he cites this information where it's coming from, right? Candace claims that she scored well on her state test. When I grew up, I never ever felt like this because I had high test scores. I was in classes with primarily white people, with the exception of one black girl and one black boy. We were the only black kids in our class, and I never felt that. In her primary school, she was in a mixed class, and her best friends were a black girl and a Spanish girl. After she took the state test, who talks like that? I mean, honestly, who talks like that? Who says my best friend is another black person and a Spanish person? Like, why do you need to say that? Candace is full of shit. Thank you. Oh, you got comment of the day, buddy. Sam Westerman. This is it. This sums up Candace. She's full of shit. Oh, I had to start this comment. Comment of the day right here. Oh my good Lord. That's full of shit. She says she's got black friends and Spanish friends. Then she married a UK, man, a European man. I don't get it. What is her issue with identity? Candace has an identity crisis on her hands. Like she can't, it's like she's never ever proud to be a black woman. Why? I'm proud to be a black woman, but I'm not racist. I can be friends with any person because it's not about your skin color. It's about what lies in your heart and your intentions. Candace will not be a good friend. You see, she got Megyn Kelly scared, and Megyn Kelly is lying about even knowing her now. Yeah, Megyn Kelly lied about knowing Candace Owens or watching her shows and said that they're not friends. And it's like Candace won't even acknowledge that. Diane said, cousin said they called Candace white girl. Because she tries to act like it's like she's running from her own history of who she is. It's like she doesn't even care. So she's created this visage, and it's kind of like she's morphed into something that she created in her mind, but it's not realistic. It doesn't match who she is in person, physically or mentally. Like it's an alternate personality. I think so too. But I think she hates being black. I really do. Because I can sit here and say things that, like BLM, the president that was charged with, misusing money and all of that, bought a mansion. She's exactly where she belongs, in jail, because she broke the law. She destroyed the trust of others. She misappropriated funds. I don't care if she's black or white. What she did was wrong and it was illegal, and she's exactly where she needs to be. And still be proud to be a black woman. Candace acts like she has to hate herself to fit in and to have some sort of popularity. And now she's having to lie, about getting an education, about her upbringing. Like she lies about the dumbest things. Candace, you tell stupid lies that make no sense. You don't even have to lie about these things, right? So to say you had a friend that was black and Spanish, why do you need to say that? It's just stupid things to say. I had two friends that looked like me, and the rest were mostly white. That's all she had to say. Interview with Candace Owens, Trump, Kanye West, and me, the Times. Candace Owens' family was awarded a $37,500 judgment after her family filed the case against high school students who made threats and racist remarks to Candace in high school. And yet she won't denounce the online death threats that Nicholas Ray sent out to about 4 Jewish conservatives, or 3 Jewish conservatives, and the other was from another individual that was sent to Benny Johnson. You got Jewish conservatives getting death threats. and she did not denounce the actions of Nicholas Ray, who was inspired by Candace Owens and a neo-Nazi. So she's proud of that, but she hates being black. Candace chose to attend an out-of-state public school, the University of Rhode Island, to major in journalism. She seems to bounce back and forth between claiming she had $100,000 in debt or $150,000 in debt, depending on the conversation or who she's talking to, I guess. She also claims she dropped out of school after her junior year. That is factually proven everywhere. She's made the same reference on many other episodes until last year and I guess 5 days ago. In July 2018 tweet, I used to dream big because of Mark Cuban. Is that Mark Cuban at M Cuban? Back when I had $10 and $100K in student loan debt, he inspired me to embrace failure, to accept every no on the road to yes. 2019 PragerU podcast. I didn't come from a wealthy family. I didn't have a college degree. So she says it here. I didn't have a college degree. I started my life $150 in student loan debt for falling for this scam of you must go to college and take out loans even though you don't really know what you want to do. That's Candace's fault. Candace, you went to college and you didn't know what you wanted to do and you didn't really want to go to college. No one told you to do that. You should have said no. Additional quote from this show: I've lived on friends' couches in roach-infested apartments just trying to survive. Did you, Candace? Candace, do you even know what the hell a roach look like? Because the last thing you said you decided to live with that was unnatural and unhealthy was black mold that you created. And then you did it in a $3,500 apartment and still failed to pay 6 months of rent, you leech. How you live in apartments for 6 months and not pay a dime of rent? $3,500 at that. Yeah, oh my God. I'd rather buy a house and my mortgage wouldn't even be that high if I did. $3,500 of rent in an apartment she destroyed because she turned the air on and kept all the windows and doors open. Can't make this up. April 2020 tweet. Wow, I began my life in a roach-infested, low-income apartment. Wait a minute. Thought you lived with the grandfather, the grandparents. Yeah, her family moved in with her grandparents. Y'all see this here? Her family moved in with her grandparents when she was 9, and her grandfather Robert became a powerful influence in her life. So the grandfather's house had roaches, or was it the friends' couches that you slept on right here that had the infested apartment roaches? Because I'm confused now. Y'all see how she's meshing all this stuff up together? And because you don't really have any factual evidence to debunk her, it's like she's just kind of, as she go along, she's just winging it. Its story changes every time she tells it. That's a sign someone is lying. Even if you don't remember, okay, it was big roaches versus little roaches, you'll remember that you lived in an apartment with some roaches. That's not something people forget. And you'll be able to say how long you lived with roaches. I lived there for about most of my childhood, for about 10, 12 good years or something like that. She's merging these historical facts, and she's merging her history together. So now I lived in a roach-infested low-income apartment, sharing a small bedroom with my 2 sisters. I started my career as a young adult with more than $150K of debt. Who brags on having this much damn debt? September 2023 PBD podcast. Coming out of college, I had $150K in student loan debt. No money from my family. You said they were poor. So what are you expecting? You got a $37,500 settlement in high school, though, from threats made to you. See that? So that would have been what? 1 year of college? If you would have put that in an account, this is when she was in, 10th, 11th grade. If she would have put that in an account, she would have had enough money saved up to at least cover 2 years of school. And that's if you just paying tuition and you still chose to live at home. Maybe you had to sacrifice living at home and go somewhere local. You chose to go out of state to the University of Rhode Island. What the hell? For what? You could have just went to a local college or something, and that 37.5 would have taken care of that, and you wouldn't have had to get student loans at all. You can't make this up. So there's a March 2024 appearance on my stream. My school was 35,000 tuition. Well, that's what I paid, 100,000 in student loans. What? Candace, that's not how math works. You said you had 150,000 in student loans. Now you're saying 100,000 in student loans. Even if you take 35 times 3, that's 105. 35 is 70 plus 35 again is 105. Candace, how are you coming at 150? Why even say 150 if it's nowhere near that? What the hell? You can't make this up. If it was 150, Candace, based on how much the tuition is at 35,000 a year, you should have been able to complete school then. If you had 150,000 in student loan, is my math off or something? Maybe math has changed since then. I cannot believe with this whole. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna get this up suppressed with the journalism I'm seeing so far. Can't say for the same of the big individuals out there in conservatives. I appreciate that. Thank you. Glad you understood that. And my math is off. Is my math off, y'all? And then her jealousy of Erica. Exactly. Erica Kirk was a Miss Beauty Queen. Child boo. Yes, math. The math ain't math. I can't make this up. $150,000 would have literally been more than enough for 4 years of education. So naturally, with that, if she was telling the truth about that, she should have been actually been able to graduate with $150,000. If you're going to take out the student loans, you might as well use it for school. The actual tuition, and this is what this blogger wrote here. I don't even want to call him a blogger. I just want to make sure I get the name. Bonnie, Stephen Bono. Okay. So he goes in and he actually looked up the actual tuition for the University of Rhode Island in 2007 when she attended school. For out-of-state tuition was $21,294, not $35. Okay. Then he does the math. If she paid for full room and board with food as well, that's an additional $8,732, bringing the total to about $30,000, not $35. On my stream, Candace claims that she got $8,000 in Pell Grants after stumbling through, originally claiming she didn't have any help filling out the FAFSA. She doesn't clarify whether this was per year, impossible as the maximum awarded Pell Grant for the years she was in school was around $5,000, or total, unlikely if her family was so poor that she was living in low-income housing in roach-infested apartments. I would imagine she would have qualified for the maximum award for those 3 years, which comes out to about $16,500. That makes sense. This means that the total cost of her education, with incredibly generous assumptions, would have come out to about $75,000. This assumes she was taking out a loan all 3 years for room, board, and food, though I've only heard her refer to it as tuition and never room and board in her interviews and tweets. Because all we can go on, Candace Owens, is what the hell you say. Because you refuse to show like receipts of anything. This assumes she wasn't working at all during her college years, which is contradicted by her claiming she was working since she was 14 in her PragerU video. So where did you work at 14 years old, Candace? Because getting a settlement from a defamation case in school for $37,500 is not a job. That's not a job, Candace. You got a settlement for $37,000. So you had a bigger jump considering you coming from low income housing. You still had a jump ahead with $37,000, in your pocket by the time you were 14, 15 years old. So really, where did that money go? And why could that not have been used for school? I'm just asking questions here, Candace. Because you say you claim to be a journalist and all. I'm asking real questions. If you got a settlement for $37,500 because some kids were being mean to you and they, made some statements, you didn't like it, okay. But you got a judgment issued to you for $37,500. What the hell you do with that money, girl? Candace, where did this money go? Because if it was for you, even though I understand if you guys had low income, maybe your parents helped or your grandparents, because you say you moved there with your grandparents. Didn't she say she was raised by her grandparents? She didn't even talk about this. So it's like she lived in a home with her grandparents. Her family moved in with her grandparents. That's what it says here. So let's just say the grandparents was like, you know what? She's got $37,500. Let's say they used $7,500. She had $30,000 left. Because otherwise, what the hell happened with this money? Why couldn't it have been used for college? She got this settlement in high school. She was like a junior, I think, in high school. Junior, sophomore, junior. You got two more years of high school to go, and you're going to college. You knew you were going to college. What the hell did you do with that money? Now it really don't make any sense. So this assumes she wasn't working at all and she claims she was working since she was 14, but she never says what the hell job she worked at. This assumes she never qualified for any additional student aid or scholarships, despite being a Black woman graduating high school in low-income housing with high test scores, and despite filling out the FAFSA and receiving a Pell Grant. Candace claims that she took out loans from Sallie Mae at criminal interest rates and approximates the cost of her education at $37.5K per year, though it's unclear where she gets that number from, as it exceeds the maximum out-of-state tuition plus room and board with meal plan costs for education. That was on the website for the school at that time. So Bonnell went to the website, or he researched how much tuition, room and board cost in 2007 for the University of Rhode Island. It did not come up to $37K. It came up to what he calculated up here. So it came up to about $30,000. So it's like you're going against the facts and evidence that's on the website. This is how crazy and ridiculous Candace Owens' lies are, implying that she was forced to take private loans instead of subsidized ones. She also claims it took her many years to pay back her debt, though paying back over $100,000 in student loan debt in 4.5 years is quite exceptional. But then y'all heard in the last video that once she paid back her student loans, then she re-enrolled and got those 2 degrees. That's what she said 5 days ago in her video on that podcast. She re-enrolled and got 2 degrees after that. Let's go back, because you can't make this stuff up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she says once she paid back her student loans, can y'all hear? No sound? What? Hold on a second. Hold on. Can y'all hear? Did y'all hear that? No sound? You watch her muted and the highest answer. Can y'all still not hear? No. What? You can't make this stuff up. I promise y'all it's not on mute. Oh man. Hold on. I'm gonna refresh. You can hear me, you can't hear her. Oh, Jesus Christ. Candace, if you don't stop, Candace must be messing with the video. Candace messing with the video. Oh no, because she's mad. Something's going on with it. I don't know why. You can't make this up. Now, y'all can't hear? She's frozen. Is she still frozen now? Can y'all hear that? Let me know if y'all heard that. Nothing. What? Ugh. Candace called Ian Carroll. Candace, you're such a clown. Why are you sitting here? She probably trying to block me. I don't want Lady Luck Club to know my secret. Hold on, let me pull that up again. Oh man, I don't want Lady Luck Club to know my secret. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear that. Oh God, you can't make this stuff up. Hold on, let me redo it. Let me reconnect. Right, if that don't work, then we'll go back to the article. But I just wanted you all to hear this again.
And my opinion on that is not something that can be discussed on YouTube. So I'll save it for my book club tomorrow.
Chabu.
Recent lone shooter scored in the 99 percentile. Abrams, like most people consider me as a formidable enemy.
If y'all can't hear that, then I'll go back to the y'all can hear me, but you can't hear her. Oh, yay. That worked. Okay. All right, let's go. Candace out here playing games. Candace, leave the video alone, girl.
Battle rights. Love you, Candace.
It's not gonna stop me from playing this, Candace. You being a clown.
Please claim. Oh, people claim you don't have a degree, but I've heard you say you do. Please set the record straight. Yeah. The truth is that I grew up poor. I was the third of a family with 4 children. My mom didn't even graduate high school, actually. And my family didn't have the money to send me to college. So I took out a ton of loans, student loans, Sallie Mae loans. And then don't quote me on the year, but I think it was 2010, Sallie Mae had a big collapse. And they said, you can't go back for your senior year because we can no longer fund you to go back for your senior year. So I dropped out temporarily. And then when I had my own money and paid off my student loans, which was something like $150,000.
Yeah, she said when I had my own money and paid off my student loans. Somehow she was too broke to take out loans for school. But based on this article here from Stephen Bunnell, she was able to pay off her student loans in 4.5 years. And now she's claiming that $150,000 of student loans she paid off in 4.5 years was somehow done, but never mentions what job or anything she went to go and accumulate that type of income. And then re-enrolled and got 2 degrees.
In student loans, which is absurd to me. Such a predatory system. You're literally preying on poor people. Disgusting.
You can't make this up, man.
Once I paid down my student loans, I re-enrolled to finish my last year. And so I have 2 degrees, actually.
I re-enrolled to finish my last year, and I have 2 degrees. You're not going to get 2 bachelor's degrees going back after the big gap you had between school just to pay off $150,000 in student loans. And then you re-enrolled. And how did you pay for that one last year of school again, Candace? Because I'm confused. How did you afford to pay that 1 year of school? And where did you go? Because when you say you re-enrolled, I'm going to assume you went back to the University of Rhode Island. Because why would you go anywhere else only to maybe have to start over? Or not start over, but who knows if the credits were transferable? So if she completed 3 years at the University of Rhode Island, what if she took courses that had credits that don't transfer? Like, you see how that makes no sense? You can come up with the money to pay off $150,000 of debt in 4.5 years. But you won't say what school you attended and what year you graduated and how the hell you got 2 bachelor's degrees in 1 year when you were only going to school for journalism. Now you got a bachelor's degree in English. When did that come up? Like, at what point did she do that? You got a whole nother bachelor's degree in English in 1 year? She went back to school, y'all. I want y'all to think about this. She majored in journalism, not journalism and English. She went to University of Rhode Island to major in journalism. Dropped that after 3 years. She went for broke, got all this money in student loans. After paying it back, she just said she went and re-enrolled and finished her last year and came out with 2 bachelor's degrees, one in journalism and one in English. But a bachelor's degree takes 4 years of education. How the hell did you come out with that second bachelor's degree in English, but you only went back to complete your last year of school? That's only 1 year, Candace. How the hell did that happen? I'm just asking questions here. Because you just can't make this stuff up. Dear Lord. All right. So here's back to the article we are on. Because I wanted to show you all that so you all can see what she's saying makes no sense at all to the average reasonable person. For fuck's sake, God. Candace claims she took out loans from Sally Mae at the criminal interest. Hold on. We already read that. I don't want to reread it. Okay, so we're here where she says that it took her, she paid back over $100,000 in student loan debt in 4.5 years is quite exceptional. So her March 2024 tweet, this is legitimately hilarious. My university was about $37,500 per year. 3 years would total approximately $112K. I took out student loans with Sally Mae, which had criminal interest rates. I then defaulted on those loans because I was still broke. What? So you would have ended up having to pay well over $112,000 because of the interest rates and the fees. Then that should have jacked up her credit, right? Her credit should have been messed up. It took me many years to climb out of that debt, but I wound up paying back everything I owed, which was over $100K, as I told you. Yeah, no, you can say whatever you want, Candace, but you're not proving it. Show us the receipt. Show the receipt, Candace, of this $150,000, whatever you paid. Show the receipt. Won't you post the receipt up? You can redact out, like, the account number and all that, personal information. Just leave your name here because you use your real name. So leave your name on it and the year and show a receipt where you paid off all of this student loan debt. Because at this point, no one has to trust what you say, girl. It's about what you can prove. And it doesn't make sense to lie about something like this. Because whether you post up the receipts or someone gets the receipts, it should be documentation that exists, right? You have completely lost the debate when you've been reduced to trying to accuse someone of being secretly wealthy in their youth. What the hell? Candace, you had $37,500 given to you as a judgment. That's not secretly wealthy. And you didn't even use that money for school. So what the hell are you talking about? This is such a dumb thing to say. Candace also claims that after quitting school early due to loan issues, she moved to New York City, began working, and paid off her $150K or $100K. I know, right? Or $100,000K, $100,000 of student loan debt in 4.5 years while working as an assistant without a college degree and traveling at the same time. Because liars gotta lie, yo. Traveling. What type of job did she have? You just can't make this stuff up. So I went to the city, New York, with $8 in my account. The city could be anything, girl. You grew up in Stamford, Connecticut. I went, whatever. So I went to the city because we all supposed to know that it insinuates New York. With $8 in my bank account. Really? How did you get there? For fuck's sake. There she did a quick stint at Vogue before I realized that I was way too cerebral to work in fashion. Oh, so now you're better than them, because reasons. These girls will be stressed out, like in tears, in the closet because they can't find a Prada bag. So she set her sights on finance. I knew that if I could interview and get in front of someone, I could get a job making money. And I wanted to make as much money as possible because that's all it's about with Candace Owens. It's always been about money. If you could get in front of someone dealing with finance and you have no degree, what type of job are you talking about, Candace? I don't even think they will hire you to work at a bank, would they? I work in finance. I have a master's degree. What the hell? She thinks that she can get a job running her mouth. Talk a good game and all. Because her sob story and all these things that she brings up, one would think that she's very ambitious. Oh, she really wants to do this because she doesn't want to be in poverty. She never wants to look at a roach ever again. Never mind the fact that we're here on Earth and roaches have existed longer than humans have, but whatever. But she's going to get in there and get in front of someone and throw out her sob story so that she can never, ever, ever be friends with a roach ever again. Never will she let that happen. Or black mold. I have to worry about another yeast infection again. Good Lord. She got a job as an assistant and rose quickly to what? I don't know. And traveled a lot, she says. She says. Though she won't tell me at which firm, because she never says that. She never gives details. She won't tell me at which firm because if she does, reporters will start seeking dirt from her former colleagues. We don't care about your colleagues. We care about verifying that you work there. That's it. Verifying if you went to the school. I don't care about your, trivial issues you may have had with a teacher or lack thereof. I don't care. Candace, that's not the whole thing of you saying that you have 2 degrees. It's because you're trying to purport something about yourself that you don't have. You're lying and misleading people. And then you have this level of influence where you're telling people they don't need a college degree. And you're misguided with that because obviously you lying about 2 degrees is disproving your own point, which is why you're hypocritical. You were saying that college is a scam when you work for Turning Point and that you would rather people have a trade. But then you go in on Piers Morgan's show and he put your ass in place because you don't know how to read court documents. And now all of a sudden you have 2 degrees. You got more than he does because for some reason you feel like you need to compete with Piers Morgan. Girl, stop. Bye, Felicia. You can't make this up. So now you got to lie about this stuff. And for what? It's a dumb lie. So no one cares about trying to get any information about your former colleagues, girl. Whatever. We can read about the dirt on you in your court documents. Where you lied and said you kept getting yeast infections for living with black mold for 6 months and still failed to pay rent. Because someone told you that you can go and get you an apartment for $3,500 a month in rent and live there 6 months not paying rent. That I don't need to get dirt from your colleagues when I can just read those lawsuits you filed. And that tells me a lot about what I need to know about you, Candace. I don't care about what your colleagues from years ago say about you. The lawsuit speaks for themselves. After 4.5 years with her loans paid off, she set out on her own, starting a lifestyle website called Degree 180 and then a project called Social Autopsy, which was meant to expose internet trolls, which I heard was nothing more than people being doxxed. So Candace Owens never understood the concept of cybercrime, even back then. You can't make this up. She's bogus. Y'all, she is so bogus. Candace, this is rather an exceptional fact pattern that doesn't map on at all to the average college experience in the U.S. The average college graduate who borrowed money to graduate will finish college and obtain their bachelor's degree with $27,400 in debt. Candace Owens claims to have accumulated 100 to 150,000 in debt in only 3 years at a public university. It takes the average borrower about 20 years to pay off their student loan debt. Candace Owens did it while traveling, moving to one of the most expensive cities in the world, dropping out of college without obtaining her degree, and while defaulting on her loans in a blazing 4.5 years. Make that make sense. Candace, no one cares about what dirt someone is going to say about you from some former colleague. They do care, though, if you're lying to them about working at the job altogether. Because now, people should be questioning whether or not you're mentally competent to do something, because you're lying about things that is just so far off base. So if it's discovered that you never had that job as that assistant at all, then what? Don't you think this pattern of behavior here is starting to look really, really, really dangerous? Very dangerous. Candace simultaneously claims that her family was incredibly poor, yet she apparently wasn't able to qualify for substantial financial aid or grants. She also claims that her family was incredibly poor, yet she was able to qualify for an absurd amount of private, unsubsidized loans from Sallie Mae to the tune of over $110,000. Candace Owens is either completely misrepresenting her college journey, or her experience was so exceptional that it can't be used as a warning for potential future college students. Exactly. So, Candace, you said don't go on Wikipedia. I said ditto. I went on Britannica. I went to Britannica. Y'all, I might not be able to get to the Kimberly Klacik lawsuit. We'll do that tomorrow because I want to break that lawsuit down. I've got the complaint. I've got her motion to dismiss with the brief. I've got the final order. I got those documents, and I'm going to show you all, but we're going to have to go over that tomorrow. Let me just show you all, and then I got Chat GPT to summarize it all. But here's the full complaint from Kimberly Klacik versus Candace Owens. This is a whole complaint here. We got that. I want to take my time with this one, so I want to do this one tomorrow. Here's the defendant Candace Owens memorandum of law in support of her motion to dismiss. You all see that? Anytime Candace gets sued, she always files a motion to dismiss, even though she lies about wanting to be sued and talking about having subpoena power. This is why I go through the lawsuits, because that to me tells more of a accurate pattern of behavior than what she purports out there on the internet. Because anyone can just go on a YouTube channel and just say whatever. But when you go to court, how do you look and act in court? That's what I'm concerned about. So the same thing she's doing now with the Macron lawsuit is exactly what she did with Kimberly Klacik's lawsuit. And then we got this final ruling here, agreed final order. She didn't win anything. The stipulation, agreed final order. No, that's not a win. That's you agreeing with the defendant for this resolution. And then I'll go over why and what happened with that. So that'll be tomorrow. I'm going to separate that out from tonight's live stream because I really, really want to go through this information here regarding this degree thing. Candace, you're such a clown. You think that Wikipedia is the only website someone can go on to get some information? Do you really think that? So if you do, you're a clown. You really are a clown. I went on Britannica. Okay. I want y'all to see this. This is Britannica. This is some basic information, background on her. And you got the top questions there. And I will put this link in the chat so you all can always go behind me and research it. You see here? It's so exactly her pattern is to inject herself in a place, then pretend she was bigger than she was. Exactly. As opposed to just saying, you know what? I didn't work at these jobs. I didn't travel all over the world. I didn't do any of those things. No. She wants people to look at her as more important than she really is. And that's her downfall. It's the arrogance of it all, Candace. You don't know how to just lay low. Just report facts. You don't have to sit here and sensationalize anything, but you're not a journalist. You're bad at whatever you think you're doing. So it has here Candace Owens Has her as a commentator, political commentator. That's all she does. She gives her comments on stuff. Born April 29, 1989, White Plains, New York, U.S. And then said that she grew up in Stamford, Connecticut. Okay. Is a right-wing commentator known for her inflammatory podcast, videos, and social media posts because she has to, sensationalize herself in order to get all these views and make all this damn money because she never wants to live with cockroaches ever again. Oh, God. She's being sued. And I love how Britannica puts this. She's being sued by the French president and First Lady Brigitte Macron over Owens' basis claims that Brigitte Macron was born male. Even Britannica nailed it. Candace, they're suing you because you said that she was born a man and she would die a man. And then you turn around on a podcast and another video and say, you're not suing me because I say you were born a man. And you were born male. You were. The judge will not care about your semantics. Go in there and play word salad if you want to. And I'm going to report and push for you and your attorneys to be sanctioned for messing around with the court and playing games. Yes, I will push for the court of public opinion to ensure that your attorneys are sanctioned if you go in there and piss off that judge playing with words as man versus male, like it makes a difference. I already foresee that happening because that's how Candace is. So in her early years, y'all see here, this is on Britannica, not Wikipedia. She was born, grew up in Stamford, Connecticut, in low-income housing. This is based on what she said. No evidence of proof or anything, but whatever. She has described her grandfather as a major parental figure in her life. Owens had a traumatic experience in high school when a former friend called her the N-word and threatened to kill her in a series of voicemail messages. Others on the messages included the 14-year-old son of the then Stamford mayor, Daniel Malloy. The elder Malloy would become Connecticut's governor. In another incident, Owens said she was kicked and subjected to racial slurs by 3 girls in a parking lot. She ended up missing 6 weeks of school, during which time she said she was attacked online by students, parents, and teachers. Her family ultimately received a settlement of more than $37,000 from the school district. Let's see. Okay, so here's where we get to the education. And here's how it states it. Right here. I was a liar. I just wanted money. I was ugly. I was desperate for attention. Another black girl taking advantage of a situation. Candace Owens on what was said about her in high school. Candace, you're still a liar. And you're still wanting money. And you're still doing things for attention. Because certain patterns are just hard to break when it is who you are. Candace, that's who you are. You're a lying grifter that has weaponized the death of a man that you claim to have been friends with to get millions of views, to make a lot of money. You've lied and defamed people. And then you want to go to court, pretend like you don't understand words. So just like you told Pierce when he asked you, do you not feel any, shred of sensitivity or anything as a mother when you're out here saying that Brigitte Macron was born a man and she gave birth 3 times? Oh, don't come for me with the sensitivity angle. Oh, okay. So the same can be said about you, Candace. I'm not going to come from no sensitivity angle at all. Regardless of you getting a settlement, you are a liar. You just want money, and you always seek for attention, even if it means you lying like hell through your teeth. You see that? Because Sue can play this game, Candace. You're also a bully. Thank you. You were bullied, and then you turn around and you go out and bully people, Candace. You won't even think about Erica Kirk and the 2 kids that have to grow up and watch your stupid videos of you lie about anyone being involved in their father's murder, except the suspect. Everyone else is involved. Everyone else is guilty. Everyone else is suspicious, except the suspect himself. Make this make sense? And yet you don't care about how Erica Kirk feels. She's asked for grace on national television. And you said she needs to understand the difference between being a CEO and being a widow. Candace, why should anyone give a damn about how you felt when you were being called a liar, wanting attention, and wanted money when you were in high school? Why should anyone care about that? You put yourself in a position where people don't give a damn. In 2016, it says here, we're on Britannica.com, not Wikipedia. After dropping out of the University of Rhode Island and working in New York City at Vogue and Glamour, Owens wrote an open letter to Connecticut in the Stanford Advocate recounting the hateful phone messages because she just had to get some attention. Their words to this very day represent the most horrific that I have ever heard uttered against another human being. I'm not going to read it all because you still lied about going to school. It doesn't make any sense. And then we have another website here. I'll put the link in here, Britannica.com/biography. So you said don't go on Wikipedia. I didn't go on Wikipedia. There you go. If she got a double major, yeah, then that would mean that she shouldn't be saying she's got 2 degrees. She should say she has a double major. But she's not even saying that. She said, I have 2 degrees. She said in the first video, I have a degree, a bachelor's degree in journalism, and a bachelor's degree in English. She's saying she has 2 degrees and refused to say the name of the schools that she attended, where she re-enrolled, and how the hell she got a degree, a bachelor's degree in English after only 1 year of college education. That's what she's saying. That's what's so crazy about all of this. So got this another article here. Unpacking Candace Owens' educational journey from Stanford High to URI and beyond. Candace Owens is a prominent and often polarizing figure in American political discourse. Candace Owens just runs her mouth. She doesn't even talk about politics. She just gives her opinions on things that makes no sense. What exactly Candace Owens' education details? Where did she go to school? And how might her academic experiences have shaped her trajectory? So let's start with the early education. Born in White Plains, New York in 1989, grew up in Stamford, Connecticut. Her foundational schooling took place in Stanford, where she graduated from Stanford High School. I mean, if we verified that, Candace, we would see like a verification that you graduated from Stanford High School. That can be verified. Owens became the victim of racial harassment incident. And she got a $37,500 settlement. Yeah, I'm just kind of skimming over this. Here we go. Higher education, University of Rhode Island. Following her graduation from Stanford High, Candace Owens pursued higher education at the University of Rhode Island. She enrolled with an intention to study journalism, a field that ironically would later engage with extensively as a political commentator. Where do you see English in this? Candace, I thought you were studying English already. Didn't she say that? She said 2 degrees. Yes, a double major means 2 degrees. What's the double major? It says here she made it in journalism, not English. Everywhere we have looked, it says journalism. It doesn't even say English. She just came up with that out of nowhere. But she said she re-enrolled and doesn't confirm the school or the year that she graduated with any degree. That's what I'm saying. She's a cockroach, or as in my birth language, cucaracha. Like, I'm trying to figure it out here. Double major means doesn't double major mean 2 degrees? Really? It's 1 degree. I have one. You can get 1 degree with 2 majors. That you don't count each major as a degree. You have 1 degree with 2 majors. It's like, I don't understand that. For sparring sessions again, yes. But, hold on. Where do you say that at? You telling me to look it up? Why don't you drop the link to where you find that at? I'm gonna let you do that. Tall girl, happy me, because she still hasn't proven she has 1 degree. She's saying she has 2 different degrees, and yet she only started out in 1 field. She only majored in journalism. So where's the double major either way? And I want you to drop the link of where you're seeing double major means 2 degrees. Just drop the link to where you're getting that information. Okay. Drop the link. You see how I dropped the links to the information that I'm reading here? That's how I do it. That's how we do it here. I don't go on anything anybody says like that, because I don't want people to do that with me. I want you all to read and research this information, right? I want you all to see where I'm getting my sources from. So if you got something that says 2 majors, a double major means 2 degrees, like 1 major equals 1 degree, as if people haven't, because there have been plenty of people that have graduated with 1 degree and 2 majors on it. But wherever you're getting that from, just drop the link to where you see that at. All right, put it in the chat, because I'm not seeing that. I'm not even seeing where she had 2 majors. That's the problem. She went to school to study journalism, not journalism and English. Y'all see that here? Intention to study journalism. That's it. You don't see 2 majors. You just see 1. I don't get distracted by the sideline nonsense. This is all we see here. Where did the English thing come from? That's the problem. That's not where she went to school and studied for 3 years. She didn't study journalism and English. It was just journalism. All the resources say that. She said that. Now she's saying she's got 2 degrees, 1 in journalism and 1 in English. So how do you know, at some point you have to just call her a liar, that she is. She's a liar. Chat GPT is my friend. A double major means you earn 1 degree with 2 areas of specialization, not 2 separate degrees. Chat GPT. I haven't seen that either. And I went to college. I mean, no one graduated with 2 degrees from Spelman College. This is just, anyone who's gone to college can just say that. It can attest to that. But she never even started out in 2 majors. It was only 1 major. So where did the English major come from? Where did that come from? I know what I'm reading. That's all I'm saying. Where did the English major come from? However, her time at the University of Rhode Island was not completed with a degree. You all see that here? It was not completed with a degree. Owens left URI after her junior year, citing an issue with her student loans as the reason for her departure. This means that while she gained significant college-level experience, Candace Owens does not hold an undergraduate degree. She doesn't hold it. Then she claims that when she paid off $150,000 of student loans in that video we played, that she re-enrolled, never said the school or confirmed if it was back at University of Rhode Island, and came out that bitch with two degrees only after completing 1 year. You still would have to have 4 years of education to get the degree in English. She only majored in journalism. It would be different if she said, I re-enrolled and finished up my degree in journalism, and here it is, and can show proof of it. Here it is on the wall back here, guys. Here's my degree back here. Because damn it, I did it. I want you all to know I finished that education. It cost me all this money. Here it is. Why would you not be proud of it and hang it up? You spent $150,000 on that degree. You're not going to post it up? You got to be kidding me. I don't even know what University of Rhode Island, if they're a great school or not, if they're one of the best in the country or whatever. But I will still post that bad boy up if I spent $150,000 on it. But she doesn't even have proof of that. And where did the English major come in? Where the hell is that? Yeah, this is something else. This is something else. She didn't even get the 1 degree in journalism. So, I said, all right, Candace playing games. We can all play this game. Since the last school that she is documented to have attended is, and this goes into her, getting jobs and stuff, but it didn't say anything about her going back to school. Nope. Didn't say anything about her going back to school while she did not complete a 4-year degree. Comma. That's all I need to see. She went from high school to studying journalism. Where the hell does the English major come in, Candace Owens? Farmer. Middle name Amber. Where does that come in? When did you start majoring in English? What school did you attend? You do not have a 4-year degree. There's no proof or evidence of it. We don't care what you say, girl. What can you prove? Why would you not post that damn degree on the wall? Oh, okay. So since University of Rhode Island is where she was last documented to have gone, that's who I emailed. So you all see here, this is the University of Rhode Island's website. According to what I researched about ensuring that I'm not invading on her privacy, because I, unlike her, care about those things. You can ask the school to confirm if they issued a degree to a specific person without asking for any other specific information about that individual. So that's what the hell I did. So in order to verify whether a degree was issued at any given time, you got to go through enrollment services. Now you all can see here, registration of records. Let me drop this link in the chat, because that's what I did, because this is how you do it. Candace, you done effed around and found out, girl. You sitting here talking about you got 2 degrees and you majored in journalism and English and all this blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. I just want to get to the root of the problem, so I'm just going to find out. I'm just going to find out. That's how we do this, okay? What's going on, model? Where you been? Model girl, listen, you guys go check out Model's YouTube channel. She's got her own channel. She does content there as well. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for dropping in. I see you, girl. How you doing? Saint Meg says, what has my life become? I'm here on YouTube talking about cockroaches and Sour Patch Candy Owens. And by the way, she has no degree. Listen, we're here to debunk the dumb stuff, okay? Because I'm a journalist. That's what I do. This is fun for me, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. It says you can do a dual degree or a degree, but it's more time and classes, of course. That's totally different than a double major. Exactly. It is. So we're going to find out either way whether they issued a degree to Candace Amber Owens Farmer. And I sent the email to all these people here on this list. I think I accepted like 2 or 3 others. I think I got to like Kate Nugent and stopped right there. So from Kate Nugent on the way up, yeah, they all got concluded in that email, including this guy, the senior associate director, John Humphrey. I hope you check your email on Monday. I'm not playing. Y'all, you can't make this up. I emailed them and I said, listen, I want to know, did you all issue a degree to any of these people, to this person? And I'm going to show you all the emails because, I'm thorough like that. Because Candace Owens is like, oh, I got 2 degrees. Oh, okay. Why you want to sit here and challenge Piers Morgan on the Macron's, in this lawsuit and sit here and act like you don't understand words. And then you want to sit here and be, try to mock the man about it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you coming, girl. I got you coming, help. Y'all see this email? Yeah. I sent the email. My email, LadyLuckClubLLC at yahoo.com. Everybody knows that. Degree verification issue request. Y'all see all these people in here? The Jay Humphrey guy, the enrollment group, Kate Nugent, Elizabeth, Rebecca, Christine, all these people got in. I didn't make this up. Y'all thought I was playing? Candace, this is journalism. I didn't ask for any personal information. Your date of birth is available online, public information. And I simply want them to verify if they issued you a degree. They don't have to give me your student ID number or your records number. I don't care about your address, your socials, none of that shit. I just want to know if they issued you a degree. Good afternoon. I hope this request is received by the appropriate department. I would like to request confirmation of whether a bachelor's degree of journalism in English was issued to Candace Amber Owens, date of birth 4/19/1989, between the years of 2007 2009. Probably should have expanded it. I think I'm going to reply all and expand it to 2007 to 2018. Let's just cover all the years. We're going to cover good to 2017. We'll just cover a good 10 years. In case, because she said it took her 4.5 years to pay off student loans allegedly, and then re-enroll. So I'll expand it to 2017 and just cover all of it. Miss Candace Amber Owens Farmer has stated that the University of Rhode Island was the university that she attended for 3 years, but dropped out of school due to student loan concerns. However, she has stated on her podcast on 2 separate occasions that she re-enrolled to school and completed 2 degrees, one being a bachelor's degree in journalism, and the other is noted as a bachelor's in English. Can you please confirm if any degree was awarded to Candace Amber Owens at any given time, specifically between 2007 and 2009? Thank you so much for your time and attention to the matter, Lady Luck Club. And then this is the automatic response that came back from the school. Because I'm thorough like this, Candace. This is why you don't lie, girl. Candace, it does not behoove you to lie, girl. I hope she's watching. Yeah, Candace Owens is mad. She's going to be like, this heifer, you talk about a Blexit. April Chapman from Unshakable YouTube channel was a big part of Blexit in her state, and she left because of Candace. Her mouth was affecting the organization. Wow. And I do watch April Chapman. Shout out to her. I do watch her some of her videos. I've actually been on a panel with her on Jay Witt podcast. So shout out to Jay Witt, bringing people together from all over the place. She reminds me of Michelle Obama complaining how poor she was. I'm down for the struggle. Oh God. I mean, Candace Owens' debate with Blair White was so big. Rucker Ally made a video. It was everywhere, and she called the Blair White a man over and over again. She didn't engage at all. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. She goes in these interviews and she, just attacks and antagonizes people, and she doesn't care how that person feels. Yeah, April. Yes, Candace. You have lied so bad. You're forcing people to do this. You're forcing people to do this because what you're saying and doing is hurting people. It might be thwarting kids from going to college. Why? Let them make that decision on their own. So the University of Rhode Island sent this automatic response from enrollment. You guys can see that here, the enrollment group. And it's a non-reply email address, so it's automatically sent out, right? uri.edu. Thank you for contacting the Office of Enrollment Services at the University of Rhode Island. The Enrollment Services team will respond to your email within 1 to 2 business days. Need guidance? Download or print this reference guide for information on billing, financial aid, and registration. Please use our secure email portal. I don't have any of that. I don't need it. The Enrollment Services team, Enrollment Services, Green Hall, 6 Rhodey Ram Way, Kingston, Rhode Island, 02881. And there's a fax and phone number. web.uri.edu/enrollment is the website. University of Rhode Island, Rhode Island. So that's where we at, people. Candace, I'm going to find out if they gave your ass a degree. And I'm going to respond to them and include 2007 to 2017. You understand? I'm going 10 years into whether or not, I don't care at what point, 4.5 years to pay off a loan, fine, whatever. We'll just include all 10 years. because you're saying that you received 2 degrees. 2 degrees, girl. And you're not even saying what school or what year or nothing. You're not showing them off. You're not posting the degrees on the wall. Nothing. If you claim to be a journalist, then why not? I didn't major in journalism, but I can even tell you're bad at this. But it's something you should be proud of if you paid $150,000 for this education. Check alumni list. I did try to find the alumni list and I didn't see it. So I will go back and research again. I looked up graduates from 2000. Was it 2008? 2008. And 2009, 2010 from University of Rhode Island. I pulled up a list of graduates, college graduates from University of Rhode Island, and then put her name in it. I researched it a few ways, but I will keep searching again and see what comes up. Now, I don't know if that information like that, unless you're in some sort of Facebook group. Maybe somebody on Facebook can see. I don't have Facebook. Maybe there's a Facebook group for alumni of URI that you guys can look at and check out. Because otherwise, I don't know why it's so hard to find like a list of, like a yearbook. I even looked for a yearbook and I didn't see anything. So it's like they make this information so difficult. Maybe it was an online degree. You know what? It could have been. And if it were, Young 2.0, prayer to God, please don't ever make Lady Luck Club mad at me. And the thing is, I don't believe in doxing. I don't believe in the cybercrime stuff. I don't believe in harassing, bullying people, none of that. I ask questions. When the candy asses come up in here, y'all see how I am. I ask questions. Where is this so-called gag order she said she was going to violate? I would love to know what that gag order looks like. We all know it doesn't exist. But since Candace wants to tap into some alternate reality and invoke herself into, this whole investigation with Charlie Kirk assassination, okay, fine. You want to say you're going to violate a gag order? That would mean that you have to be held by, some court has deemed you to be a part of this, to hold you against a gag order. Then let's see the gag order. Wouldn't you have a copy of it? You and your 3 or 4 attorneys you got. Candace got at least 3 attorneys representing her for the Macron lawsuit. She had 2 attorneys representing her for the appeal with the High Court of Australia about the visa ban. She has no problem getting attorneys. So why you and your attorneys don't post up this gag order you said you're going to violate? And what attorney would advise you to do that? This is how stupid Candace Owens is. No attorney would advise their client to violate a court order signed by a judge. Whether you like it or not is irrelevant. You can't even make this up. Her followers didn't figure it out. It wasn't even a gag order. Exactly. But she posts up in a post, I plan on violating a gag order. Don't put stuff like that out there, because now you're insinuating that a court has signed an order against you from saying certain things about something, whatever the topic may be. You're saying they're restricting you from speaking about a matter. And a judge signed an order on that. So now you're lying on the court simultaneously when you put up false information like that. She's still not smart enough to figure that out, because Candace Owens is not a journalist. Girl, Piers Morgan was not wrong when he said that you don't know how to read these court documents. You don't know how to separate yourself from your opinions versus what's the facts in the documents. And for her to go back and then lie and say she's somehow going to violate some gag order that doesn't even exist for her. Yeah, that's proof of what Piers Morgan was trying to tell her. That's exactly what he was saying to her. You can't even report on the facts of what's in the actual court docs. You're sitting here coming up with your opinion. That's not how this works. God. You can't make this up. She hasn't mentioned him changing his personality. No. Kanye, he's taking his meds and doing much better. Okay. Oh yeah. Let's watch that video right quick, and then that'll be the end of this live. And tomorrow we'll go over the Kimberly Klacik lawsuit. She did not win it. I can just tell y'all that right now, because Candace Owens, I know how to read court documents. You didn't win that lawsuit, girl. You should ask your attorney to explain to you what a stipulation is. You didn't win anything. Makes no sense for her to lie that bad. Good grief. Okay, let me go pull up that video, because I did see the video about Kanye apologizing to this rabbi. Hey, what the hell is she gonna say about that too? That's crazy to me. Hold on. All right. Let me stop that and let's share this screen. And we'll check this out. Now, this is on page 6 YouTube channel. And I'll share this link with you all. So I'm curious to know, has she responded to this? Has she said anything about Kanye West apologizing to a Jewish rabbi? Have y'all seen anything about her saying something about this? Because I haven't. This is baffling to me. Shout out to all of you all tuning in, by the way. It was up to 150, 60 people watching. Y'all make sure y'all hitting that like button. I understand it's late, and we're not going to be too much longer. I just want to check this out. And I'm curious to know what Candace is going to... Yeah. She ain't said nothing about this so far. No tweet, no nothing. Not a video, not a nothing. Crickets. Yeah, I figured that. You said no. Oh, boy. It's not just your ego that's giving her fire. She's lying about her education. People don't take kindly to fraud. Exactly. People don't take kindly to people that got a lie this bad about super stupid stuff. But let's check this out here. Y'all letting me know if you can hear and see by putting the 1 in the chat. Let's go.
I feel really blessed to be able to sit here with you today and just take accountability. I was dealing with some various issues, dealing with bipolar also. So it would take the ideas I had and have them taken to an extreme where I would forget about the protection of the people around me and myself. So I wanted to come and take accountability. Sometimes people aren't that knowledgeable about the bipolar and the cause or what causes it and the way you act when you have this disease. So it's like if you left the house and you left your kid at the house and your kid went and messed up the kitchen and messed up the garage and messed up the living room. And when you get back, it's your responsibility because that's your job. And that's the way I look at it. It's like, I got to go clean up the kitchen. I got to clean up the living room. I got to clean up the garage. Yeah, and it's a big deal for me as a man to come and take accountability for all the things that I've said. And I really just appreciate you embracing me with open arms and allowing me to make amends. And this is the beginning and the first steps and the first brick by brick to build back the strong walls. The Judaism. The Judaism brought to the world a way for someone when he regret about something that he has done wrong. And the Jews live on this way of if someone did something wrong, he can regret and fix it. And the rabbi is hugging you and hugging everybody. And God willing. And from now on,
I can tell this rabbi here is very, very, very sincere in what he's saying. He's not, his response, I don't get any judgment from it. Like he's not being judgmental or anything. You could tell by the way he's holding his hand and just kind of just the body language is like, he really means what he's saying about forgiveness, essentially. And I'll give my thoughts on Kanye on this when it's done playing. But I'm just noticing the body language and even the firm gestures from this rabbi here. It almost makes you want to cry a little bit.
And the rabbis are hugging you and hugging everybody. And God
That
willing,
firm gesture.
and from now on, strong things and good things, and only good. You are a very good man.
Amen. That's a blessing. Very good.
So, what did you all think about that? Let me ask you all. What did you all think about that? The music business messed him up. He said his mother was sacrificed. He has a lot of guilt. Problem is they don't stay on their medications. I did cry. I almost cried at the end. Watch how forgiving the rabbi is. He's very forgiving. Very forgiving. And he meant it. He meant it. Big donation to the Jewish community, please, Jay. Yes, the rabbi is very sincere. Candace Kanye has a lot in common. It seems like she can only do podcasts because nobody else can tolerate her vile behavior and dishonest commentary off a person. Exactly, Laura. Exactly. If this is real and Kanye means it, it will show in his actions in the next 6 months to a year, in my opinion. You're right. Change comes about not just with one gesture or one moment. It is about how you show that you've changed over time. That's why the saying is that time tells everything. Time reveals all. When you go out and you apologize for something, let's say he's in a situation where someone's talking about the Jewish segment of Jewish community, and he's tempted to want to say something back, tempted to want to respond in a way where he used to. That'll be the true test. Would he be able to sustain temptation from backtracking? And I'm glad he did this, but I want to see what happens 6 months from now. I want to see what happens a year from now, because Kanye West has said a lot of other dumb things, and he had to go back and apologize for it. And it's like, dude, you can't keep blaming everything on being bipolar. I'm sorry, because there are patients out there who are bipolar. Some have it to a more, extenuating and or severe form than he does, and they still don't do and say half of the dumb things that Kanye West has said and done. And every single time it's, well, he has a mental health disorder and we should just, give him some grace. Well, what if you have someone out that's committing mass murders and then they go and say, well, I'm bipolar? Like Kanye, why can't you all give me some grace? See, the problem is you have to do that for everyone that claims to be bipolar. That's the issue with me. And at the end of the day, even if you have people out that have mental health disorders, you have to look at on average, what type of quality of life they are living and their behavior and the pattern of behavior here. I don't see people walking around just with bipolar disorder doing and saying the things that Kanye says on his level. The reason why he gets away with it is because of his wealth and fame, not because people want to hold him accountable and they just feel sorry for him. Because if he didn't have bipolar, it would be no different. Let's take away the bipolar disorder. It would not be any different. If Kanye West said the things that he has said and done, he will still get a pass because he has money and fame. So if you take out the bipolar disorder, what you're left with is a man who still has money and fame, and they still get a pass. So him using that is irrelevant. But hopefully, if he's truly learned, let's say God came to him in a vision and scared the crap out of him and said, if you don't get yourself together, it's going to be a real problem. And it might not be directly on you. You got 4, 5 kids. You want your kids to be blessed and happy. You might want to treat people right, regardless of whether they're a Jewish rabbi or they're, Christian Baptist pastor. Candace Owens. disrespecting the man of God, Rob McCoy, where's it going to get you, girl? See, this is the thing. They don't think about that. They don't care about how what they do causes the damage that it causes. And it leaves the remnants behind that they leave behind. Candace Owens has said some horrific things about Christian pastors. That's not even including what she said about, Jewish rabbis walking around drinking the blood of Christians. That has to be so evil and vile and disgusting. It's just disgusting. Why would you want to focus on someone drinking the blood of another human? Period. You understand how disgusting and evil that is? What if the blood of these Christians were babies and children? Why would you even want to think about that? It's insane. So I don't see any, just like with God. God's like, sin is sin, right? The things that they've said about Jewish rabbis is about as evil as it gets when Candace Owens is walking around here dogging out a Christian pastor. She's just adding to the list of it. But it's still horrible things being said. And just the huge disrespect is unnecessary. You can disagree with decisions being made in another country without accusing rabbi priest of drinking Christian blood. It's just disgusting. It's disgusting. And Charlie Kirk would have went off on Candace Owens if he were still alive. See, here's the trick, Candace, because you don't realize this. None of the things you said, all the things you said about Turning Point USA, about Rob McCoy and his son, about all of Charlie Kirk's friends, you would not be saying those things if he were still alive today. And it's because you've never said those things while he was alive. You never went after his pastor because you knew Charlie Kirk would have put you in place. Whether he had to call you, that probably would have been a day he called her. Oh, it's been a year since we talked. I know it has, but let me tell you something, girl. Stop talking about my pastor. This is the man of God in my life that I look up to. Stop telling people I'm out here trying to convert to Catholicism. Why can't I just respect, Catholicism without being a full convert? You want to be Catholic? You go be Catholic. No one's stopping you. But stop disrespecting my pastor. Most people don't want their pastors to be disrespected. If Charlie Kirk were alive, he would have already went off on Candace Owens about that. She's only doing this stuff because he's not here to defend it. And then she's weaponizing his death. She has way too much pride. Candace, your pride is about to come before your fall. It's about to come before your fall, girl. You can't make this stuff up. So, y'all, that's all we have. That's my thoughts on this. Y'all let me know what y'all think. You think that Kanye is sincere. Candace Owens probably will never apologize. She's already said, I will never apologize for anything that I've said about Charlie Kirk's death, and no one's being honest, and everyone's guilty, and blah, blah, blah. She said she will never apologize for it. And this is the last thing I want to show to it, because I got this in an email and I said I would show this. I thought it was crazy how, and it goes to show she doesn't care about who she puts in the line of fire. She don't care at all. It was some posts that I had. It was a young man that, hold on a second. Where is that at? It was a young man with a green hoodie. Someone had sent me the post. And I'm looking for it. Because I thought it was, it speaks to how, afraid he was seeing his name come up, on Twitter X or something. And it's like, he felt the need, he had to say something just to keep from having Candace always come after him. And nobody should have to live like that. Candace, you ain't nobody. You walk around here lying about having degrees. Girl, bye Felicia. I had those posts up. Oh, jeez. Let me see if I can find them again. Because I thought it was just crazy. Like, who want to walk around here having somebody feel like they got to be on pins and needles? Hold on a second. Shout out to Jen. Thank you for sending me that video. I'm trying to find this post where she had this kid, the dude, the green hoodie, had to respond to her. It's just to keep from being blasted out on the internet. I don't see it. Oh man. Wasn't that on Twitter? It was on Twitter, right? It was on X. Can you email me that again? S Files. I'm sorry. Can you email me that again right quick? Because I did want to pull that up. Because I just thought it's so disturbing when people feel like they have to sit here and defend their existence on Earth. To Candace Owens. Like, of all people, I got to sit here and respond to this girl calling me out on Twitter. Yeah, please. If she did that with me, I'd be like, girl, if you don't prove that you got these 2 degrees, you better leave me alone. Your candy asses keep trying to make excuses for you, and it's no longer working. Candace, you're not gonna win this argument because you sit here and you lie about stupid stuff, and then you want to put down and belittle people who actually have, degrees in education. So yeah, you thought you had it. Nope, Candace. No. I'm trying to show you what journalism looks like. I don't have to dox you for it. I don't have to get your personal information. But I wouldn't sit here and lie about having 2 degrees either if I don't. It's like, why would anyone want to lie about that? You only do that when you want to feel important. Let's see. Hey Skeeter, how you doing? Hey Mark, how's it going? I hope you all are doing okay. Yeah, she is out of her mind. Sent. Thank you. All right, let's see. I gotta put because I gotta show you all this. And I want you all to see how dangerous this stuff is too. With Candace Owens and her behavior. It can get people caught up. It get people, hurt. The fact that she's doing this, it cause someone to end up being subjected to her it's like candy asses, the cult followers out here doxing people, cyber harassing people. They were about to do a whole rundown on this person. And for what? Because Candace Owens trying to figure out who he is. Like, that's so crazy. Sit your behind somewhere. Okay, let's see. I'm finna pull it up right now. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I would be pissed if this happened. Like, you just a random person. Here it is. Thank you so much. S Files, shout out to you. Y'all, who wants to go through this? John Root. It says John Root. So I'm gonna show you all the posts here because this is concerning. This is not journalism at all. This is not journalism. Just so y'all can see here. This is not journalism. Everybody speak to everybody. What's going on, Skeeter? I hope you're good. Now, something is off about them. He said, I think I am in love with Candace Owens after the wedding. Really? Oh, after he got married to the Kardashian. I don't even think that I'm gonna be honest with you. Her marriage to George Farmer is weird. Okay. 18 days. It's just weird. It's just weird. I don't know. That's just me. That's my opinion. But Candace marriage to George Farmer is weird. I think he goes out of his way to. Yes, I do. Real John. She has lied about it. And she has not produced any evidence on it. And then she said she's got 2 degrees in 1 year. You go to school for 3 years and only major in journalism. You drop out of school. She's not clear on how much student loan she has. She's not clear on what year she re-enrolled. She never said the name of the school that she re-enrolled in or the year she graduated. So yes, I do believe she's lying about having a degree. And there's no information online anywhere to prove that she has a degree. Even in her interviews, she stated that she dropped out of college. She's just now starting to say that she has 2 degrees, not even 1. So you make this make sense. How do you go back to school after 3 years of college, only majoring in journalism? And then you say you go re-enroll to complete your last year of college and you come out with 2 full degrees in 2 different majors, because you will still need to complete 3 more years of school for the English degree. 3 more years of school would be required to get a degree in English. And she didn't start off majoring in English and in journalism, just in journalism. So how do you come out with a bachelor's degree, which is from 4 years of education, in English, as well as a bachelor's degree of journalism, only after having returned for 1 year? Candace lies about a lot, but she doesn't prove any of this stuff, and she expects people to just believe what she says. And no, I've emailed the school. I just want them to confirm if they've issued 1 degree to her, let alone 2. Let alone 2. I already emailed the school. Confirm if you've issued 1 degree to her. Because we can't ask that. Did you give her 1 degree? Because she's saying she got 2. You don't need to lie about having an education if you don't have it. She's already making over, $2-3 million every month on YouTube. What do you need to lie about having a degree for? It's so crazy. So, yeah, I believe she's wholeheartedly lying, and she has not produced evidence. And let me just say this, John. Please ask her. Yeah, it's impossible. It's very impossible. You don't go to school and get for 1 year and get a 4-year degree. Very impossible. Especially when you did not even major in that field. So I don't get it. How do you go to school and only do 1 year and you come out with 2 bachelor's degrees? She said, I have 2 degrees, not 1 degree with 2 majors. She knows the difference. I don't think she's that stupid. Why don't you all ask her that during her lives? Can you show evidence of this? Just show evidence of your degree. Can you show us a picture of your degree? That's it. That's all I'm saying. Can ask all the candy asses that watch her. Ask her, can you post up your degrees? Your bachelor's degree of journalism in English. Can we at least know where you got the degrees from and the year you graduated with 2 degrees after only going back to school for 1 year? You need 4 years of education for a bachelor's degree, okay? That's not something I have to make up. You can research that. I've dropped links and all the information, all the resources that I presented will be in the description of the video. I always do that because I know that there are going to be people trying to fact check me, which is fine because that's what journalism is, right? Providing some facts. But ask Candace when she's doing her live to show her degree. Say, hey, can you post up? Do you have your degree, your bachelor's degree in journalism somewhere in a frame or something where you can just show us right quick? Ask her, see what she say. That's all I'm saying. Just challenge her for it. But I've emailed the school, so they're going to let me know whether they issued her 1 or not either way. But I would prefer she be honest about it before I have to sit and show the information that I get from this school. I would prefer that, but we all know she's not gonna do that. So if you guys see the post here, John Root, Candace Owens debunked again. When was this? What day was this posted up? It says 5 hours ago. I don't know if this is the same date. She shared another unfounded, ridiculous conspiracy theory about the man in the green hoodie and glasses pictured below, which happens to be a goalie for Utah Valley University's soccer team, Kobe Sessions. Sessions admitted that it was him in the photo in a reply to Candace Owens. He had absolutely nothing to do with Charlie Kirk's assassination, yet Candace Owens continues to slander and attack innocent people, including multiple members of Charlie's team and employees at Turning Point USA. This is disgusting, evil behavior. Put the phone down, Candace. Log off and never return. I don't blame him for saying this. Look at this. He's there with a hoodie and some glasses on. He attends the school. He's a student. You don't think students are going to attend an event at a university campus where students were in class, Candace? Do you all really think? Let me ask you this. For all the parents, would you want your kid in college to be blasted all over Twitter X by Candace Owens and to be insinuated in being involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination simply because he was in the crowd with a green hoodie on? Do you think that your kid deserves this type of harassment to even be called out? And all they're doing is just going to college. He attends the school. He's an actual goalie on the volleyball, was it soccer team? He's a goalie for the soccer team. He's a student. Does he deserve that? Would you want your kid to be subjected to that simply because they're a student at the school? He's replying to Candace Owens. You can't make this stuff up. Let me see if we can pull up this because there's two others here. I wouldn't want my kid to be harassed. Are you kidding me? My child trying to go to school. He ain't done this. Why accuse him of that? Like, why even? Why? He's a student. Let me pull up the others. Hold on a second. Because there's two more. It's two more here. So here's the second one. Here's a clearer photo for you. This is what she posted. Why? Then you got Sam Parker. 92 degrees and sunny reminds me of the umbrella man at the JFK assassination. No, it doesn't. You act like this guy, he can wear what he want to wear. He's just attending the school. He's at an event that's at his campus. And to think him going outside with a green hoodie on is somehow more suspicious than the person standing behind him with a hat on. Or any other student out there that's got long sleeves on. You think he the only one with long sleeves on? He wasn't even the only one wearing a hoodie. What are we talking about here, Candace? This is a student. This is what she posted up. I wouldn't want my child posted up. My child going to school. Unless you finna pay his tuition, do not post pictures up of my child while he's on campus. It is his prerogative to attend an event. But what my son is doing there has nothing to do with you when your ass wasn't there. Candace, you were not there in person. You didn't even talk to Charlie Kirk like this a whole year leading up to his death. What are you talking about? You posting up pictures of the students without consent. They deserve a little bit more privacy than this. You picked him out of a crowd. Like he the only one with long sleeves or a hoodie on. Get the hell out of here. Nothing he needed to be subjected to. He's just attending school. And then to think, this is what the candy ass is here, her cult following. They think this shit is okay. No, it's not. It's not okay until it happens to you or your family or your loved ones. There's nothing normal about this. She's just posting up people and singling them out because she thinks this is suspicious. Oh, it's so suspicious that he's wearing hoodies and stuff. When I was in college, I saw students wearing shorts with Timberland boots on. I thought that was weird. Like, you got on shorts and then you got on boots. You got on Timberland boots with shorts. Who wears boots with shorts? But that it happens. So what? I had to realize that's how, sometimes that's how people dress. A lot of people from up north dress like that. What makes you think he's not from an area where it's colder than him? Or where it's warmer, he thinks it's cold. Like, you're disrupting him and just living and existing here. Y'all know George Farmer is not giving her any attention. He cannot be stunned her. There's no way he takes her seriously. Here's the last one. There's no way he takes her seriously. So this is, okay. E.L. Jacoby. He said Candace Owens just posted a photo of a student claiming he looks suspicious because she thinks she's an agent when she's not even a good journalist. Candace, I already told you, you're bad at this. You're very bad at this. And now you want to walk around and purport yourself to be an investigator. Keep on, and you can get reported as one too. You can have complaints filed to the FBI and the CIA that you're pretending to be an investigator and you're not certified or educated or trained or licensed to be one. You do not work for the CIA or the FBI. You and them dumb mommy sleuths, y'all just picking people out of a crowd simply because he got a hoodie on. That's not even good journalism, let alone investigatory work. That's not how it works. You don't just pick people out because they look suspicious to you. That's not even how you profile people when it comes down to an investigation. What do you? It's the stupidity of this. He looks suspicious and connected to Charlie Kirk's assassination. The student replies saying it's just how he dresses. Because yes, it is. Just like I find it weird that people wore shorts and Timberland boots, but that's how a lot of people dress from up north. They don't care. It's like, who cares? Why are you doing this? This is now the third innocent person she's accused without evidence. This is so dangerous. But then she'll be crying victim if this young man's mom, if he and his parents decide to sue her for this. Because now he's got to be subjected to harassment. That's what happens when Candace Owens and her cult following single you out. They start cyber harassing you, cyber stalking, doxing people, bullying people. All because they're sitting here making assumptions with no evidence. But she won't show proof that she's got a degree. She won't even show them a copy of the damn degree. You can't make this stuff up. What if something would have happened to this young man after she posted this up? What if somebody would have walked up to him and attacked him? She's already subjected some Jewish conservatives to having online death threats from Nicholas Ray. What if this young man would have been attacked after being posted up by Candace Owens because he looked suspicious as if he was connected to Charlie Kirk's assassination because he was wearing a green hoodie? And then her whole response was, well, that's it. He responded. He said, that's how we dress. That's it. Problem solved. No, you created a problem that should not exist in the first place, you dingus. This is absolutely dangerous. If he would have been attacked, then she wouldn't have said anything. She would not have said anything. She has zero regard for anyone. Exactly, darling. It's like she doesn't remember that she has 4 kids herself. At some point, Candace, they're going to get older. They may decide to go to college, whether you like it or not. They might even decide to go to college, to a public university. And at the end of the day, you don't want any of these things that you're putting out there on someone else's child to fall back on yours. Why would you do this? And you just blew him up. But it wasn't for the right reason. It was not for the right reason. And he could have been a target and subjected to some sort of physical assault. Who knows? This is crazy, y'all. This is so crazy. Oh my God. George doesn't pay her any attention. Who would? Can y'all imagine this? He's trying to go talk to him about something, and he just look at her and say, "Make me a sandwich." Why don't you do what the book says, dear, and make me a sandwich, okay? I'm just gonna smoke this cigar. I'm gonna have my cognac. Just make me a sandwich and go work on your podcast. That's nice, dear. Thank you. He ain't stunned her. Oh my God. Yeah, this is so dangerous, man. This is so dangerous. Michelle says, ego, possible fraud of educational credentials. Now I'm just thinking out loud here, but I do remember Matt Walsh's cell phone being stolen, and a lot of it had to do with his war on culture. Wow. He need to get his, what? Who's stealing his phone? Candace, you got that man phone. Give him his phone back. Oh, God. As soon as it's delivered, I must have missed out on something. You wake up one day and Candace Owens has a picture on X saying, "Who is this suspicious person?" Oh my God. Exactly. And he's like, "This is me. My teammate and I something campus to get food and stop. Always wear silly stuff like this." He shouldn't have had to respond to that. He should not have had to do that. Oh, what's going on, Manny? Shout out to my mods. Thank you so much for coming in and tuning in. Now my research skills are on 10. Listen. Shout out to the X-Files for sending the post over. Shout out to Jen for sending over the video we checked out earlier regarding the Piers Morgan interview where she first alleged last year that back on episode 4 that she had 2 degrees after, I guess, 1 year school. This is after having dropped out after the first 3 years and accumulated $150,000 of debt. Oh, man. Yeah, that's just things in life, where, somebody's got to be the adult in the room. And Candace Owens is not going to take any accountability or responsibility until she starts losing lawsuits. That's what it's going to take. That or just a rude wake-up call. Or maybe Erica Kirk telling her to shut up. But hopefully Erica Kirk tells her to shut up with a lawsuit. Because she has not taken any accountability for posting up Charlie Kirk's medical file without Erica Kirk's consent. She didn't have the right to do that. She obtained it illegally because we went over that. We went over the laws. Whether she violated HIPAA privacy laws or not is aside from the fact that she still could be held liable for tort for invasion of privacy because she did not obtain consent either before she disseminated that medical file, that screenshot that she obtained illegally from a hospital staff. Hospital staff should have lost their job. There should be a whole investigation going with that. And it's crazy. You get Megyn Kelly walking around here talking about, I don't even know her. We're not friends. I don't watch her shows. I'm not the mother of the internet. Why are you so scared to just say what's right? Like she got something on you, Megyn. You need to grow up, girl. Grow a spine. You got kids her age, I'm sure. Why are you walking around here scared? Candace, you're wrong. You have not produced any evidence to show that anyone outside of Tyler James Robinson shot Charlie Kirk. You need to stop this nonsense because you got random people showing up on your Twitter X and they're just students at the school wearing a hoodie and they play soccer. Get out of here. Like, that's insane. Would you want people to put your kids up on Twitter X and accused them of being involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination? Yeah, these 4 babies, they did it. I got Google. My God. Leave the kids out of it, y'all. I don't even promote stuff like this. That's why I don't agree with her posting up somebody else's kid in this. It's so crazy. All right, y'all. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Tomorrow we're going to go over the Kimberly Klacik lawsuit because I want to take my time with that because I want to sear it in to show why Candace Owens did not win a damn thing and what the court's documents state and what does it mean to stipulate. That's not a win. And so I want to give a shout out to all of you. Hit the cash app. Oh man. So you telling Johnny is still in here. Jono, hit the cash app. Shout out to my mods. What time? I'm going to try my best to do an earlier live tomorrow by 3 p.m. As you all noticed, I didn't schedule one tonight because I've been cleaning up and doing laundry and stuff and chilling with my son today. So I didn't want to, schedule time, but I want to be respectful for you all's time as well. So I will try my best. I'll schedule it, put it for 3, and I'll try to aim for that because I just want to focus on that lawsuit. And we're not going to read the lawsuits, but we're going to go over the summaries and read the actual the joint order. All right. So 2 p.m. your time. Got it. Yep. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, not UTC or Utah time. I had to say it. It's not 3 p.m. Utah time, y'all. Candace, you're an idiot. Oh, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. I have to go ahead and set it up. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Shout out to writer Albert Lanier, as well as model Stance on Air, 2 content creators that showed up in here and showed some support. I appreciate you guys. I didn't have a mod in. I don't think it was a mod in here. Where's Laura? I don't think a mod was in here to post up the links, but you guys go check out those fantastic content creators. And hopefully if they do stop by tomorrow, I'll make sure that their links are in the chat here because I believe in YouTube community and building up support the right way. Not putting people out on Twitter X, Candace, or, having people to have to defend their existence on Earth. All right. So see you all tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you guys take care and have a good evening. And until the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.